Hello, everyone. Welcome back to All Roads Lead to Rome. This is Mr. Nealand, gathered with my players. As you
Hello.
recall from last session, we are at the start of the Second Punic War, and I apologize in advance. It's going to contain a lot of me talking and a word of warning. There will be scenes not suitable for a young audience in this game, so you have been warned.
To any parent, and if you're a parent letting a young audience watch this at all, you are doing a terrible job of parenting.
I disagree. A great job. So, the year is 215. Each of you has had 3 years of downtime to do as you will, to research, make new friends, recover from your ordeals. Some of you have used the time to gather boons. Some of you have used the time to inquire more of your sires, to learn a little more of your clan history. However, as the years have passed, the news of war soon reaches you, and it becomes inevitable that it becomes the focus of Rome itself. One night in early 215, each of you receive notice that you are to appear before the Eternal Senate. You will be meeting in the Tabernae Novae. It is a square of shops with 2 levels, situated just below the Temple of Jupiter on the Forum. On the screen in front of you, you see the tabular Tabernae Novae, cleared of all patrons, cleared of all clients, all vendors, everything. When you reach it, there is assigned seating. The Princeps Camillus, you are looking at the square from Princeps' viewpoint. He would be standing right where you are looking from this perspective. On chairs in front of him is the elders of the Eternal Senate, facing him. There are 2 empty chairs, and you notice the Malkavians, including Tryphosa the Seer, is not there. And in a moment, I will send you a picture of Tryphosa so that you can see it. See her.
Sorry, is Camilla sitting?
He's probably standing.
He is a POV. So so we're all probably gonna be sitting because we're near Nate.
Right. So again, you are looking at this from the perspective of the prince. Facing him, directly in front of him,
It literally
will be the elders.
Here.
Seated behind them will be the ancillae on the Eternal Senate. And seated behind them will be the neonates, which includes Lucius Valerius. You have a seat on the floor.
Chris, you're cutting out.
Fuck.
Not sure why.
Okay, now it's fixed again. That's weird.
That is weird. I apologize for that. So,
no, it's not a problem.
Lucius Valerius, you have a seat on the floor of this square for a neonate Eternal Senate member.
Question.
You may all make a intelligence plus politics roll, or sorry, wits plus politics roll, if you so desire.
Okay. I have a question.
Go ahead.
What is the difference between a neonate, a senate member, and elder senate?
Age.
All senators are equal, but some are more equal than others.
Age and status.
Okay, but chairs, are they different too, or
no,
just?
They are not.
Okay, so they are not like sitting in a different table while I am like
they are
child.
Arranged in a line. They're arranged in a line. Elders up front, and Scylla behind them, neonates behind them.
Oh, understand. Okay. And in wits plus politics, you said?
Yes.
Difficulty?
6.
That's botch. Oh, no, okay.
I'm rolling.
Okay.
No fear.
With 1 success, you realize there's a purpose behind this, but you don't know what. And with 2 successes, you realize that this keeps the prince able to see all the conversations happening, but it keeps the Senate from seeing all the conversations that are happening behind them. It's a political advantage that he now has because he can see how people are reacting.
Interesting.
Smart.
Can I imagine it like a long table and the prince is sitting at like the
Prince would be at
right
the podium.
corner?
The prince would be at the podium speaking. Imagine a classroom. The prince is at the podium. He's the teacher. And then there's a table up front where the oldest and best students sit, and behind them is the second best people, and behind them are all the troublemakers who sit at the back and never participate.
I see.
And curiously, this arrangement does actually give the neonates a slight leg up as well. Probably by accident.
I see.
Well, Labiana has no idea what's going on.
And only Eternal Senate is sitting at the tables, right? No
Well,
member
there are no
has...
tables. It's just chairs. But yes, only the Eternal Senate is sitting. Everyone else is standing.
Okay. So we can understand who is Eternal Senate member and who is not.
Correct.
How many bodies are in the Eternal Senate?
Yeah, around 20.
Around 20. So majority is Venture, I believe?
Ventru and Malkavian. You may now all make a perception plus politics roll.
Ooh.
Let's check that.
4 success.
One again.
All right. If you have one, or if you have at least one, you notice the empty seats. Valerius, you instantly recognize there are no Malkavians here. And Labiena, you recognize at least a couple of the empty seats should have Malkavians in them, but you don't know all of them. Now, arranged behind the neonate members of the Eternal Senate is a standing room only crowd. So in the middle of the plaza, there's a very large pit of fire. There's a very large flame to provide light, and there's several torches. And of course, you all realize nobody is standing close to the fire. Nobody wants to chance that. So behind the neonates, arranged back into the pillars of the building, and on the second floor, there is at least 100 people there. And the vast majority of them are Cainites. There are far more Cainites than you recognized as being in the city.
There we go.
Okay. And they are at the second...
They are packed in the very back, and they're up on the second floor.
I see. So they are literally packed like animals, we can say.
Well, I would say it's very crowded. I wouldn't call them packed in like sardines or cattle.
It's like a stadium. A stadium that's not a was it Hillsborough? That I can't.
If anybody is keeping an eye as you walk in, you realize that there are 2 slightly familiar faces standing on the balcony on the second floor. And that would be Ihamus and Tenant Balsahar, are both standing on the balcony, observing.
Interesting.
I see. While other...
Sahar not like right next to Camilla?
He is not a
Damn,
member
this
of the
must be
Senate.
fit. Yeah, I'm just making a joke.
Well,
They-
to be fair, if he was standing by Camilla, he would not be standing by Camilla. He'd be standing under Camilla.
that too, yes.
All right. So, as everyone gathers, you hear the murmuring, the chatter. There's a lot of idle talk. People, meeting each other, shaking hands, greeting each other. You hear a mixture of languages. And the prince begins to clear his throat. And somebody bangs on the ground with a staff or something. And the whole crowd gets silent. And he brings a formal proclamation that he calls this meeting of all kindred of Rome to order. And he calls forth, first he gives a summary of what has happened so far with the war. And then he proceeds to put to a vote of the Eternal Senate. He proposes to allow any Cainite affected by the war to come forward and plead for aid or assistance. And so the elders stand up. Each of them vote aye, yes. The ancilla behind them, some stand up and say yes, some say no. The neonates, there's your chance to vote. Valerius, how do you vote?
Wait. Ooh. So we will vote about helping those who need help.
The vote is to allow them to come forward and ask for help.
Okay. What did Prince voted and the majority of Ventrus?
He did not vote. However, Artemis voted yes.
Okay, I will vote yes then. I mean, she's my mentor, so I should follow her steps. Yeah. So I will vote yes too. Going from her steps.
So this begins a very long process that is going to last a couple of nights. More than 50 Cainites step forward, and each of them share something very similar. They will step forward and they will say something. They'll give a nice greeting. Honorable members, thank you for taking us in. Thank you for allowing me to come and plead for help. I fled from a region, this region near Cannae, and I can assure you the horrors that I saw pale in comparison to anything that we might inflict, even our beasts might inflict in the most horrific of frenzies. And they'll talk about how they saw the Bruja, Lasombra, Cappadocian, and Assamite killers traveling with the armies. How they are raiding and destroying any Cainites they can find. They are in particular seeking out Salubri and Cappadocians and diablerizing them. And they are taking Malkavians as prisoners. Around 3 a.m., even though only approximately half of the waiting Cainites have spoken, the prince adjourns the meeting for tonight to be held again tomorrow. This is in order to allow all of you to feed. This process continues for another couple of nights until everyone has told their story, and you hear the same horror stories told over and over and over. So finally, on the third or fourth night, after everyone has spoken, the prince steps up again. And he begins talking about the dangers of Hannibal. And before he opens it up to debate by all members of the Eternal Senate and anyone who is recognized to be able to speak, the prince has this to say. He says, should we be worried about the Carthaginian forces? Yes, we should. As you have heard, they will spare no Cainite, no ghoul, and no mortal servant. They will continue to raid our lands, take our treasures, destroy our histories, and leave nothing behind but ashes. To do nothing is merely to postpone the inevitable moment when you face the Carthaginians. But yet, to expect us to stand shoulder to shoulder with Roman soldiers wielding spear and shield in a battle line is madness. So therefore, I open up debate on this subject in order to allow our wisdom to make us whole. So what you hear, first off, you hear Bester. He gets up first, and he is actually really fierce. He wants to destroy any Cainite refugee unless they swear loyalty to the Senate and the Princeps, and along with a vow to fight against the invaders. Julia Anastasia, the Ventru who champions the road of humanity, she is in favor of accepting the refugees, but does not want to force them to fight. Artemis declines to speak. The debate then goes to the Ancilla, and then it goes to the Neonates. Valerius, would you like to say anything on this subject?
Yeah, I will. Okay, so I presume each member, when their turn comes, like stands up and starts speaking loud.
Yes.
I presume. Okay, so Valerius follows that too, and when his turn comes, he will. I'm thinking if I should roleplay or just state what Valerius says. Okay, Valerius suggests that we should take refugees. Are we talking about Cainites or kindreds now?
Same thing.
Same thing. Okay. Valerius states that we should take refugees. We should help them, as they are like kindreds living in Italy, as like us, something like that. And then he says, but as we sacrifice something, they should sacrifice something too and aid us on what kindreds of Eternal Senate of Rome wants to do. So he points out that this should be a major agreement in which each party sacrifice some things for the behalf of other party. So he suggested. So yeah, we should take refugees and they should in the exchange like fight with us, follow the Eternal Senate's orders and things like that, if you understand what I mean.
Okay. So, this debate continues to rage for several more nights. Through 8 total nights, this whole process continues. And what you hear, as more you talk more and more and more, that some of the Ventru are beginning to fight over, well, how do you define a refugee? What counts as refugee? What duties would be expected of them? They begin to debate increasingly minute details about word parsing and small definitions. If you've ever heard the expression, they're missing the forest for the trees, that's what's happening here. They're getting so focused on narrow stuff that they're losing the big picture. And over these 8 long nights, Malkavians have either remained completely silent or have not shown up at all. Now, all of you guys get to make a Wits plus Politics roll at difficulty 5, because you know Artemis by now, and you might be kind of hip to what she's doing.
Wits politics, did you say?
Yes.
Sorry?
Wits plus Politics.
So, can I ask something?
Sure.
In all this time, when we discuss about things by gathering up, Malkavians does not say anything. is there any kindred which is pointing out that, like, why Molkarians are not speaking, share your thoughts? Is there any kindred saying something like this?
No, there is not.
Okay, would it be normal if I ask that at some point when we gather
Well,
together?
That's what this politics roll is for.
Mhm.
Okay. Valerius, 1 success. Albina, 2 successes. Hat, 3. Everybody else 1. All right, so at 1 success, you guys all kind of realize Artemis has a plan. She's up to something. With 2 successes, you realize it involves the Malkavians, and Hat with 3, you realize she is canny enough that she's waiting to hear everything everyone has to say before she reveals her hand. And it's quite possible that she has plotted out what's going to happen with some of the Malkavians.
Interesting.
Now,
It finally comes to the 9th night. You have been hearing debate after debate, people beginning to yell and shout at each other, getting very upset. Through it all, Artemis herself has remained extraordinarily calm. The prince has been very calm and deliberate. So finally, on the 9th night, you are all again gathered. And as the conversation continues and the debate continues, so how many of you guys are on the 2nd floor and how many of you are on the ground floor?
of course, I will be with the Eternal
You're in
Senate.
your seat. Yes.
Yeah.
Hat would probably be going 2nd floor unless all the others were all the other coterie members were on the ground.
Albina would be on the ground.
Is it normal for people to be moving from time to time among those who listen to the debates?
Yes. People they'll change positions, get a little more comfortable, seek better vantage points, things like that.
Nicodemus is going throughout the whole 9 days. He's just going to 9 nights. He's going to just do just that, not to get more comfortable, but to eavesdrop on any whispers and opinions people might have been exchanging between themselves, without being too obnoxious about it.
The main thing you're hearing about from the refugees is they all realize they're throwing themselves on the mercy of predators. So they don't know what's going to happen and they're scared. So the 9th night, those of you on the 2nd floor, you see this as she, and those of you on the 1st floor are looking at the Senate members talking. And the back door's open. And everyone on the ground floor, standing near the very back, you see Tryphosa walk in.
Dessia?
Some card.
I would say that's where Labienne is, ground floor. I meant to say that before.
And there's a little bit of chatter going on in the back, and it gets quiet. And she begins to take a step forward, and several more Malkavians enter behind her. And every step she takes, the quiet begins to spread until eventually it envelops even the Senate. And everyone stands up and turns to look, and they see her walking in with her retinue of Malkavians. Her pace is very slow, even maybe deliberate. Time, as you look at her, time even seems to slow down. It makes her feel like like each pace is like the metronome ticking of a countdown. That her pace is the coming of doom. Nicodemus, to your special eyes, to your sight, you realize that what's about to happen is probably going to be one of the most important speeches you ever see. She slowly walks through the crowd and stands before the prince, who recognizes her right to speak. She turns and stands in front of everyone, and under your gaze, she shrugs the toga off of her shoulders, allows it to fall to the floor, and exposes her naked skin. In the dim torchlight, you can make out that her skin has been covered in symbols, pictures, and writing, from her eyelids to her nipples, her fingers, her toes, all of it. She speaks. Cainites, elders, Methuselahs, and guests, I stand naked before you to prove that I have nothing to hide. For 9 days and nights I have dreamt and traveled realms of the spirit and the mind. On the first day I dreamt that I stood in a great swamp. The great ferns and trees towered over my head, drowning out the sun. The fetid air felt fresh to my stale body. I felt wet and warmth. Mud oozed beneath my toes. It felt like being alive again, open to all experiences and experiencing all for the first time. I became aware that a man was standing next to me. He had no face, but he spoke, and I knew it was Malkav. He said to me, "This is the beginning. From here, mankind has all open to him." Malkav took my hand, and the ground flowed beneath me. I was with Romulus and Remus as they invited the outcast, refugees, and the prisoners to their new homes. I saw the rape of the Sabines. I was one with them as the men of Rome penetrated my body, and I bore them sons to continue the line. In 3 days and nights I lived 100 lives of men and women, some here and some dying in the bloody fields across the salty seas. For the next 4 days and nights I flew with Malkav as he showed me Carthage and the bloody fight between the great nations. I lived hundreds of lives. I bore children. I impregnated women. I killed and I was killed. I felt the sands of the Numidian deserts. I fell prey to the spears of the pharaohs. I drowned in the ships as the great prows crashed together and tore holes in the wooden vessels. And I was there with Hannibal's blood oath that he would never rest his spear, never make friends with Rome, only become its lord. Finally, over the last day and night, Malkav showed me the future. From Carthage rolled a blood wave, a tide that crashed and broke upon the rocks of Rome. I saw Rome founder, its head pulled under the tide of blood, only to rise again and again, higher each time. And the rocks on which Rome rose had symbols, flowers, mirrors, masks, scepters, and more decorated each rock. And each rock was the skull of a Roman that had not forgotten the values of his city. I woke and found my skin engraved with my journey. I say this to you now, stand up and protect your city, or bow knees to the blood tide of Carthage and never emerge. In the silence afterwards, she bends and picks up a knife from her clothing. In complete and utter calm and silence, she begins to slice into her skin, peeling it off. A few in the crowd start to stir, but a few glances from their fellows stop them. You lose count of how many cuts it takes, but eventually she skins every part of her body. She fillets herself, from her scalp to the soles of her feet, leaving her skin in a bloody tumble on the ground. At last another Malkavian springs up and gathers the skin, while Camillus himself takes Tryphosa in his arms and hands her bloody form to her clansmen. Finally, for the first time, Artemis stands, and she declares, "I call to elect Princeps Titus Ventrus Camillus as dictator until Hannibal has been driven from our shores and the war declared complete. All in favor. And of course, her vote is answered with a resounding cry of, aye, yes! Camillus, smeared with blood, not his own, bows his head and says, I accept this burden. I will speak with the elders tomorrow night to begin our plans. And that's when everyone begins streaming out of the courtyard. So what do you guys do?
Abner stays behind, hoping to speak to Artemis.
Is Tryphosa running out, leaving as well?
Her clansmen carry her out.
Yeah, getting flayed probably impedes your ability to walk, actually. So that's understandable.
Any of us need to make a roll after seeing that? Just out of curiosity.
What kind of roll?
Courage?
Like to not
Thanks.
flee in fear?
Yes, well, seeing someone flay themselves, I'm sure there's a role for that.
Anybody who tried to interfere, you realize the peer pressure of the crowd was there to stop you. Either to stop you from fleeing or to stop you from interfering.
I'm at the shock of it.
Yeah, you can absolutely be in shock because almost everyone is. Nobody... Can you imagine the pain she had to be in to peel every bit of skin off her body, just standing there?
I don't know.
So what did they do to the skin after collecting it?
A Malkavian gathered it all up and is walking away and is left with it. You did not see where they went.
Okay. And what happened to the skinless Malkavian?
Her clansmen, her clanmates carried her out.
Okay, but she didn't turn to ash.
No.
Okay.
She's still alive.
Just
Oh, undead.
Yes.
I see. Go on, please.
I'm going to first glance to it's just like, what the fuck? And then look up and to the sky. Are there clouds gathered?
Let me make a roll to determine that.
So I think for the
All right.
moment, Labia is just standing there in shock.
On a 15 to 20, it is absolutely clear. 10 to 15, a few clouds. There's a few clouds in the sky, not too much, not too bad.
But probably enough to interfere with any attempts at a reading.
No, not really. It's a pretty nice time of year.
Okay then. I'm going to just actually, first a quick question. How long approximately do the readings often take?
Half an hour to an hour.
Probably not. Probably going to need to leave before then. Oh well, I can make a note to consult the stars later. Till then, I'm going to be basically probably just following the coterie for this bit. Like, let some of the more let the Sombra and the Ventru handle any political matters.
Yes, so you are not alone in being in shock. Absolutely nobody expected this to happen. The whole crowd basically does the same thing. A lot of them kind of wander out just like incredibly quiet, not really sure what they just saw. some of them are excited. Some of them are, like I said, the reactions run the whole spectrum from complete silence to anticipation to fear.
Okay. After the Senate and all other people just leaves the place, does Artemis and Camilla keep staying at their location and talk? They do something like
No,
that?
everybody leaves. Artemis leaves.
Okay.
Everybody leaves.
Okay.
Oh shit! So I follow Artemis.
Yeah, everybody leaves.
But I do have a question. I didn't get the whole meaning with the choosing Camilla to fight against Carthage. I mean, aren't we
Camilla
already
was
doing
chosen
it?
as dictator. That means if he says it, you do it. Period.
Okay, and Artemis voted for that.
Yes, she did.
She proposed
She
it.
proposed it.
That carries a lot of weight.
I
It
see.
also gives a clear sign. Nicodemus, even though everyone else is starting to leave, he just stands there transfixed. But he's not. He is shocked, but in a peculiar way. He's not afraid of what has just happened. He's fascinated. He's never seen anything like it. And through his senses that he was recording the whole thing, he is trying to determine the meaning of it. Even though the spectacle was very convincing, he's trying to determine how much of it could have been a staged play rather than a true vision from a seer.
Do you have Auspex 3?
No, I only have Sense Cycle.
Okay. That would have been really helpful right now if you had Auspex 3.
Yes, I understand.
Well, roll your
roll the stuff.
Wits plus performance.
I
do that
do
very
not.
often.
Wits plus performance? Okay, just give me a second. I need to look into something. Okay. Wits plus performance. Is this past part of this? Yeah, I get it. Wits plus performance. Let's see. Since he's very actively trying to puzzle this out, he's going to exert his will to try and perceive it with greater
Absolutely.
clarity.
Yep.
Is it difficulty 6?
Yes, it is.
Just one success.
2 successes because you had a willpower point. Yes, there was an element of political theater. However, you think it was more that Artemis was waiting on the Malkavians to make a move. This is absolutely what she wanted to happen. This was, in her eyes, for Artemis, and just her reactions, you read, this was 100% her goal. This was absolutely what she wanted to happen.
Mm-hmm.
So there was an element of theater, but there was also, this was not all staged.
I see. Can I still make the Sense Cycle roll with regards to the seer?
Sure, absolutely.
Trifosa. Let's see. I'll still spend a willpower point. That's a lot of willpower points down. Perception plus enigmas. Perception plus enigmas. Okay. 7. That's just one success.
Okay. Each success allows the player to ask the storyteller a question regarding the target.
It's too bad it's only one because I had ideas for 2. Very well. Let us try with psychological weakness. Perhaps this will give me a clue.
Tryphosa is often unable to tell the difference between her visions, between what is actually a prophetic vision and what is not.
Ooh, juicy.
Doesn't okay, well, can anyone be able to be certain what is a prophetic vision or not?
Yes. Well, okay. Let me put it this way. Somebody who's just has prophetic vision knows when they're not seeing something that's normal. But somebody like Tryphosa, whose very mind is set up to be more receptive to this, that setup also renders her unable to tell if it's just something weird or is it actually a vision.
Interesting. Perhaps she could have been
So she may be
manipulated into this.
liable to overlook an actual vision or pass something off that's not real as a vision.
Or it can work the other way around. Regardless, Nicodemus is going to give up his further perception of the scene, except for one little detail. He's just going to step down to the exact same spot, the exact same spot where she just flayed herself down, and just touch the ground for a little moment, as if considering the signs he has read. But other than that, he'll just vacate the place.
Okay, yeah, so you go up to where her blood stains the ground, and it's still a little tacky. You kind of touch it, maybe taste it just a little bit. It's not enough to give you a blood bond or anything like that, but you taste that thrill of incredibly potent, sweet elder vitae. That was actually her blood. This was not an actor. This wasn't some illusion that they passed off. That was actually her doing it.
What was her skin?
Would we see Nicodemus like messing around a bit?
Did you hang out or did you leave immediately?
I never said anything, so can I say I hang out there? Stay after everyone leaves?
I thought you said you were following Artemis.
It was Albina.
Yeah, that. And I was saying that I was probably just going to go with the coterie.
Okay. Well, the only person now who has a chance of seeing this is Valerius, and all you see is Nicodemus being very thoughtful, like he's deeply contemplating what's going on here. I mean, you see him taste it, you see him touch it. He's like there's no indication of what's going on in his head. You just see him slowly chewing over this information, trying to make sense of it.
So let's say Valerius was like leaning on a wall or something and like thinking about his own thoughts about this thing. Then when he recognizes Nicodemus in a close vicinity, I believe, I would like to walk slowly towards him, like, a short little bit, hey, Nicodemus, and something like that to, steal his attention.
He seems to be in a different place for the moment before snapping his gaze towards Lucius. He looks closely. Well, Lucius, it seems we have lived through this debate. What do you think about all this?
In our case, in our age, this decision doesn't matter. We either way are under control of someone. So my own thought doesn't matter at this point. As long as Carthage gets eliminated for the sake of Rome, I am happy with it. And I believe that this show, you may call it, it was strange. It was unexpected, as like others thought so, I presume. Well, I only hope that it will help to change the mood going within the Rome. I hope it will make other Cainites and kindreds feel more courageous, maybe we can call it. My only problem is Carthage. As long as they are not a problem, I don't care who rules the Rome, who rules the night, who is the king of the nocturnal creatures. As long as we keep living on, as long as you guys keep living on, and as long as we see the future, does it really matter how it happened? Do you think the actions does not justify the end?
Now, this is a question that numerous philosophers debate upon, because it's so easy to just wrap it all in a package of words, and it's all out different when you're actually exposed to be challenged for your beliefs. But I know this, that this invasion it's not just a mortal problem, and it's not just some skirmishes. They're out for blood, and they're organized. They are invading upon us with brutality and tenacity we have never known. How many of those of our how many of our kindred brethren are ready to just go out there and diabolize everyone as in response to these aggressive tactics? Do you really feel they can be roused as efficiently?
I believe that fear is enough to force creatures to do unremarkable things.
Fear. You know what the
what this
problem is with fear as a motivator? It's very difficult to control. And those Carthaginians are driven by a purpose. They are driven by a purpose.
You know, Nicodemus, did you ever saw a predator animal that's been surrounded by enemies? Do you know what happens to that predator in such a case? How they react when only things surrounding them is just danger to their lives? If you don't know it, guys.
I think I know what you're referring to. In fact, I've heard a mention of a general that purposely put his outnumbered troops into a cornered valley because they wanted to get the most out of his men.
Yes.
But we are not.
We are getting cornered, Nicodemus. We are getting cornered. Either case, fear will take over everything. It's better if someone rules over that fear and at least unleashes it to our enemies than to each other. This thing, what happened tonight, it made sure that this fear will be unleashed to our enemies, not to each other. You remember the past nights, right? When some of the Eternal Senate spoke about not taking refugees, or if we are going to take refugees, that we should use them as like worthless, expendable things. That's the vision of um, word escapes me. What is the word for that when people inside one country fights with each other?
Civil War.
Civil
War?
War.
Yeah, this thing you saw past nights, the arguments between the argument between the kindreds. It's the vision of civil war between the kindreds of Rome. It will end all of us. Problem is not us. Problem is the Carthage, and we should focus on them.
I
How
don't
it
know if you're
happens? Sorry?
I'm not sure if you're contradicting yourself or you're agreeing with yourself. Either we have a civil war or the Carthaginians are a problem. We are a problem and the Carthaginians are a problem. The fact that we've spent 10 nights on deciding on the course of action while they kept rampaging the countryside and tearing up more kindreds that could be allies to us and diablerizing them.
Dabbler is the smallest thing we can worry about it at this point. But let me remind you this, Nicodemus. Our pest, this Cote's pest. Do you remember the times we always had hard times to make a decision to act now or act later after making a plan, right? You remember those times. And we were just 5 kindred. No less, no more. 5 kindred. Now here there's thousands of kindreds that probably each of them has their own thoughts, and each of them is worried about the same thing, about themselves. This is a problem. This is the real danger which can devour all of us quicker than the Carthaginians. The thing happened tonight, it made sure that such thing would not happen. It made sure that none of those thoughts of those kindreds will matter, because now there is only one ruler and only his decision matters now. Now this is both a problem and a good thing, because when you assemble 15 smart men to one table, which each of them thinks different, there will be no outcome. There will be only discussion, more discussion, arguments, discussion, and so on and so forth.
I'm sorry, Valerius. Are you trying to explain the weaknesses and strengths of democracy to me? Let's skip this discussion. I understand your argument, and I really hope this political spectacle we've just seen that puts strong hands into our employer is just going to cut it. Because the big problem are the refugees who already been manhandled and mistrusted during these 9 nights, and they could have seen everything. Just this speech at the end may not be enough to rouse them. I'm not here to argue. I'm just saying that you and us need to be careful, because by being clients of Artemis, we're going to be in the middle of it to further her will.
My friend, we are neonates. We are already in the middle of all this thing. We will be the first one to go and fall, if it comes to that point. I assure you.
Well, we'll
How
just have to be
optimistic.
smart.
The best thing we can do is open our chests, open our hands, and welcome it. Take the punch, and at least take those people who punch us with ourselves onto the hell. If someone is going to kill me, I will at least try my best to take that person to rooms of Hades with myself. At least I will do something, even if it's small. Now, we are luckier than most neonates because we are a Kotori and we have each other. And in this direst moment, we have to stick with each other more and more stronger. For that, as the Malkavians said, we should not spare any truth from each other. I think what happens tonight doesn't matter much. What happens between us will matter. So I suggest that we should assemble together tomorrow at the same hour, just the Kotoria, and speak about our own thoughts about this thing. I think we should share our own thoughts about this.
Nicodemus, yeah, okay.
Because elders, our patron, newly elected Camilla, the dictator, they don't care our own thoughts. They don't care our thoughts. And that's understandable. I mean, would you care a children's thought? I wouldn't. So I can empathize with them. But either case, a children is the future, and we are the future. So we must take the next step stronger and stronger till we make a mark on the ground and make sure everyone knows that we have a value, we have a weight on this world too. So don't be scared. What happens at future doesn't matter. What happens now matters. And what happens now is sticking together. Even if the fear clings us to this bestial instincts of betraying to everyone around us to keep survive. I've been in that pit. I've been in that rabbit hole. Going upward is harder than falling as normally. Don't think about what happened tonight much. Focus on the Carthagians.
There's plenty of words I disagree, but I hope the wisdom from this comes that we should stick together. The only way that we're going to survive this war with Carthage is if we commit to the same action and that we convince others to join us.
Yes.
So hell, let's not pick any squabbles with other kindred. Let's try to form a rank, a shield wall, as you like to call it.
Yes. At this point, I would like Valerius to go next to Nicodemus, put his hand behind his back as like a friend does to his friend, if you understand what I mean. And I would like to take steps away from this location. And as we are walking, I will whisper to Nicodemus silently, "Now, my friend, let's stay away from the unseen ears. And I would like to remind you, if we take the refugees, it will provide us many future opportunities. Try not to make new enemies, but new friendships. This is my suggestion."
Isn't it what just I said? Very well, I have a wisdom for you, but I hope you'll put it to good use. How many do you think among the refugees are Carthaginians?
It's not something we have to worry about. It's the elders who should worry about that. I take the wisdom. I understand what you mean, my friend. I understand what you mean. Being spy is not hard when thousands of people enter one city. Yes, they can hide very easily, but I'm sure those experienced old and mighty kindreds of Rome can find a way to solve that problem. I'm sure they can think how to solve about it, and if they can't, well, we are already doomed. And by the way, I'm whispering all of those to Nicodemus. Nothing is saying loud or like in a normal volume.
Let's just keep this in mind. So tomorrow, same hour, your place.
Yes, tomorrow, same hour, in my place. I would like to make an announcement again.
Very well. Good hunting, friend.
Thanks. Same for you.
Okay.
You've got
Those
to
of
be
you guys who
kidding me.
followed Artemis.
No,
What
sorry,
you
what?
anyone who followed Artemis, what you see
I don't.
is
I'm
Artemis.
really sorry. I just have to let you guys know right now. There's a chance that my building's fire alarm could go off, so there is a chance I may need to log off and evacuate the building. I'm just letting you know that's a possibility right now. I'm hoping not, but there is a chance.
Well,
I hate this
okay.
building.
Let's hope it doesn't happen.
All right. So those of you guys who
And
followed
fingers
Artemis.
crossed. The alarm hasn't reached my level yet.
Yeah.
Not yet.
See her. She exits with the prince and a couple of the other elders of the Eternal Senate, and they move to the Temple of Jupiter, which is just a few steps up the road.
Tell you what I'm gonna do.
And they enter a chamber that's underneath the temple, and they bring it's them, and they bring the skin with them. Anybody who tries to enter after them is stopped, and basically told they need some time to go over this.
Well, just gonna look to the others. How long do you expect they'll take?
Please no. I'm sorry, I'm really kind of distracted right now.
I mean, if it's
Yes.
your life is at danger, you should probably go out and evacuate.
How long do you expect they'll take in
I have no idea, but if it's like past experiences, it'll be another false alarm, and I should be back within, well, definitely within half an hour. Hopefully no more than that.
Okay, well, we're going to keep going, because I don't think you're going to miss too
Yeah,
much.
no. I don't expect you guys to stop for me.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and skip forward as you guys are trying to understand what happened.
one thing.
Go ahead.
Before we skip the night, I am going to Hatshepsut is going to try and do a reading.
Okay, so I believe we said that is first is it's a 2-layer roll. The sky's clear enough that you don't have to clear them. So first you have to cast the horoscope, then you have to read the horoscope.
Mm-hmm. I believe it was something like perception, Earth wisdom, then wits enigma.
Yes, that's correct. So yes, perception plus your Earth wisdom astrology. It's a standard difficulty of 6. Outstanding. All right, now to interpret it. That's your wits plus your plus your enigmas at difficulty 6.
And watch as I botch this one. Oh no, good.
Nope, it's excellent. All right, so basically, what you interpret through the horoscope Sorry, give you a second. I'm looking the merit up, so I'm not.
Giving too much or too
Yeah.
little.
Correct. Exactly.
Fair enough.
It's a supernatural merit, right? Nope. There it is.
Yeah.
Got it.
Alright, I'm out. I'll be back.
Warning. The firebomb.
Okay. So obviously war is writ large in the stars. And what you see are the vast forces, and as you read the stars, you interpret the wolf of Rome against the animal of Carthage. And right now Carthage is backing Rome. You see Carthage has the advantage. The stars basically tell you that the time to act is now. You cannot delay. Yeah, basically that's what the stars tell you. Is if you are going to make an effect on this, if you delay, you will be ineffectual. You will not be able to help. If you're going to act, the time is now. That's what the stars tell you. Because now is when your actions might actually, affect the outcome. Otherwise, it's too little. It really won't be effective. Okay. Anybody else?
Okay, sorry about that. My keyboard's disconnected for some reason. But yeah, I got it.
Okay.
Well, do you regard to Artemis about anybody else or generally?
Well, for tonight, Artemis is closeted away. She is not accessible.
Sure. I mean,
Well, I believe we've established that Hat is taking Valerius up on the offer of staying at his haven. So
Yes.
should probably catch up with him, and we'll probably say, I look to the stars and they say we need to be doing shit. Obviously she'd phrase it a bit more, eloquently than that.
Go ahead.
Because you say that, I have to remind that if anybody else missed, at the Discord chat I said that Valerius invites anybody to his villa to stay with him because the dire situation and the taxes might create problem for some of us. So he says whoever has the problem with being safe at daylight, that person can come to my villa. I'm open. I have a place for you. It's much safer than probably the small apartment or something like that. So yeah, anybody who wants to can just stay at my villa.
Okay. Well, sounds pretty quiet.
Hat is staying with him, so
Okay.
So
Anybody else has something they want to do tonight?
Nicodemus is going to 3 a.m. That might be hard. So if he's not able to find any of the urchins that he's been making his information network of, his aim is basically to instruct them to look out for any suspicious things happening during the day and evening, like supplies being smuggled, like some strange happenings in the docks, or any other places where the people may be coming, or supplies coming in, anything that would seem odd during these. If he's not able to tell them this night, he's going to ask them to. That would be his first thing the next night. And the other thing, he's going to visit Gregorius and warn him of the brewing trouble, and that he probably already has his hands full with some human refugees coming in and wounded and stuff like that. But I'm kind of trying to help him out with arranging some of that and also for him to keep an eye out for any thing strange.
Yeah. He's obviously incredibly tired, but appreciative of your words, and he'll make sure that he has some people that stay with him to help guard him, people who could otherwise not pay him for his services.
Very well. I'm making sure he's well fed on my blood. So he has more strength for the upcoming havoc.
Okay. All right. So.
Right.
Welcome back.
That was fast.
I know. They managed to switch the alarms off when I was about 3/4 of the way down the friggin' fire escape.
Lovely.
Definitely a false alarm. No one knows what caused it, so yeah.
Alternatively, it was real, and now you're about to die.
Yeah.
Bye.
Well,
Okay.
gee, thanks, Luke.
Yeah, thanks.
Sorry.
No, I just have to admit, being in a place like this, I'm starting to get too used to false alarms. There've been too many of them.
Yeah,
Anyway,
but
I just want to get
still-
back into this.
Yeah, sure. Welcome back again.
Thank you.
Okay. So anything else tonight from anybody?
No, I mean, if there's something important you will do for
Nope.
tomorrow,
So
I
not
would.
Lucius. What about Albina?
I think that Albina is going to try to. Is there like a refugee quarters somewhere that they are being kept?
Basically, most of the refugees are being kept outside the city, outside the walls.
Okay, I think that she's going to try to walk through the place that they are being kept. Try to see what she can overhear. Perhaps try to look for other Los Sombras amongst them.
Oh, you're looking through the Cainites, you mean?
Yes. To look for the vampire refugees, not the humans.
Right. Well, the only way you're going to know for sure they're vampires if they're at this gathering. And most of them have been pretty tight-lipped about what clan they are. And I don't know if you can really blame them, considering they've been driven out of their homes and they still don't know who they can trust.
They're all secretly Barley.
This might be a case.
Quite possibly. So, would she be able to try to perhaps search for some familiar signs of Los Sombras, or perhaps try to endear herself to them?
Well, the only familiar sign of La Sombra is the no reflection thing.
Yes.
So unless you have a way of making them show this, I don't know that you're going to be able to tell.
Can she just try to befriend some of them? In that case, then try to endear herself to them.
Yeah, you can become friendly with them. It's going to take more than a few nights to get them to open up and really trust you.
Yes, perhaps offer them a place with
Yeah, they will probably pass on that.
Oh fuck.
Again,
Yeah.
it's not a reflection on you personally. It's just a matter of
Yeah. I'm not willing to trust anyone.
Yeah.
Because they might be things the host wakes up early or something like that.
exactly.
Yeah. Nothing for the night, I believe.
Okay.
I just realized I wanted Nicodemus to do one more thing.
Sure.
He wanted to have Abinadab and Uziel's take on all of this. I assume they were present during the Eternal Senate
Yes, they were.
session.
They were present, and they don't know what to make of it either. They are basically frozen, waiting on information, just like all of you guys.
Do they have any recommendation about how to deal with the refugees? I mean, considering that there may be some turncoats in there. What would they advise?
Short of spying on them for a long time, they really don't know how to tell. Even high-level aspects can't really tell you because there's ways to block it. But just listening to them, going by accents, things like that. Like, if I listen to them talk, I can tell they're from Carthage. Well, you're listening to 100 different people talk, and there's a lot of unfamiliar accents.
Yeah, I assume Nicodemus has been doing some of that.
So,
well, he was first encountered with the problem.
Let's just say you have not uncovered any turncoats or anyone from Carthage.
Yeah, it just probably because it was difficult, not much time.
Exactly. If you had a couple of years to watch them and like really, understand what it is they're doing, then you could figure it out. But in a couple of weeks or a couple of months, especially with the sheer number of people who have come in.
I expect this is exactly the kind of paranoia the Carthage kindred would like us to have in Rome. Not just paralyze the mortals, but us as well.
Okay. All right, so the next night, all of you go to sleep for the day sleep. Rome wakes up. They begin the tasks of their day. The men go to work. Women go to work. The kids are out doing what the kids do. In fact, a lot of the kids had to work too. They eat, they sleep, they drink, they eat dinner. The sun sets. You guys all wake up. And within about half an hour of waking, you all immediately feel the summons, and you recognize the particular feel of Artemis's presence. And Albina, you in particular, realize that she's basically right next door to your haven.
She follows after the feeling?
Yeah, she is underneath the Temple of Jupiter, right where you saw her go under.
She heads inside and heads over to her.
She asks that you wait till everyone is gathered.
She nods, of course.
Hat will follow the summons, putting all her things in order. Just
Assume that they have a moment of privacy. Can she speak to her before they arrest her?
Yeah, it's gonna take somewhere between 20 and 40 minutes for everyone to show up. So
she's going to. This is an impressive woman. Wouldn't you agree, Lady?
Her visions have proven valuable far more often than anyone knows.
Did you already know the result of this latest vision of hers?
Some of them. We have had time to go over some of them, which is what this is about.
It is a surprising turn of events. for the prince to be elected a tyrant. Uh, do you? But perhaps it is exactly what is required. But I'm surprised that you would back such a motion. From
The
what I
institutions of the
understood.
Republic mean little to me.
Yes, but
In Sparta, the king makes the decisions and the king commands the army. Therefore, they are able to react with much speed and precision.
yes, but for what I understand, you and the prince are not in the closest of views shared many matters. It surprised me that you were the one that backed that motion.
If you allow too many officers to argue over a course of action, nothing ever gets done. Therefore, it is best to have one person in command deciding everything, just as the mortal Senate elected Fabian as a dictator to save Rome.
And so you and him decide to put aside any differences for the sake of putting down these brutal upstarts and the Cappadocian and Dasamite allies.
Yes,
Correct?
we do not. We get along much better than many people believe. We have a common goal.
That common goal is to
The survival
be
of
related
Rome.
to this. Yes, this war, the victory. Which now is just currently waits for the.
Yeah, Laviana.
Okay.
Answers the summons.
Okay, so Lavian is the next one to show up. Again, you see Artemis and Albina kind of talking a little bit, and they usher you in, and you see Artemis and Camilla, and there's a little box. Camilla's sitting at like an altar, and there's a box next to him, and the box is shut, and they kind of usher you in. You know, hey, we're waiting, and they tell you we're waiting on everyone else to show up before we begin.
Understood.
Nicodemus answers the summons as well. I assume the summons are precise enough for him to realize where to go.
Yeah, it's like a sensor. You know when you're getting closer and closer. So
He tucks all his immediate belongings, tucking his his parchment for notes, and his surgeon tools that he has packed in his within his tunic, his pockets, and he heads towards the summons, presentable as per usual summons from Artemis. Upon arriving, he politely bows to everyone of each, following the seniority all around, and takes his place to wait for others.
okay. So you're waiting for everyone to show up. Like Hat and Valerius are the last two.
Same time.
Yeah, same time.
I mean, Valerius is looking as whenever he nothing special.
Okay. All right, so you guys all show up. Everybody's there. Finally get there.
You know, dude, it's the same for my Kotori, same. for I just look curiously.
All right. All right. So everyone has gathered,
So how does the box look like?
and it just looks like a wooden box, very quickly thrown together, very quickly.
What's in the box?
And Camilla's there, and Camilla actually looks tired, like you've never seen him tired. He looks tired, but there's a fire in his eyes. It's a very hard look. It speaks to his determination that he will never ever bend the knee to Carthage.
So he looks
Does he look
overwhelmed.
like someone who just hasn't slept during the day?
Exactly. It looks like he had powered through the day, and you all know how hard that is.
Impressive. Nicodemus cannot help to feel a bit of an awe for this person who is basically single-handedly shouldering this burden.
He opens the box and he takes a pair of like wooden tongs and he takes something out of the box, and it's a flap of the skin. All the skin has been cut up and stacked inside the box. He says, I studied the prophecies as much as time allowed. I've narrowed our actions down, and we must establish the appropriate forces. The portents on these pages speak dire warnings should a single mistake be made. As it is, we are in for a very long and hard struggle, and we are not assured of victory. And he pauses and he looks at all of you, and he gazes very deeply into each of your eyes. I understand that at least one of you has developed a deep bond with the neonate Samisi. Is this true?
I've no step forward. That is correct, Lord Camille.
That's very well. And that at least one of you has traveled deeply into Zamisi territory before?
I step forward and nod. Yes.
It is me as well, Lord Camilla.
I've never raised an eyebrow in that and just look at that.
That is very good. You will need this understanding. The prophecies indicate that a significant blow will soon fall at or near the city of Apollonia on the Dalmatian coastline in Ilaria. Apollonia is a city that is very loyal to Rome, so I have no doubt that the mortal armies will target it soon, as well as the Cainite allies within. My task for you is very simple. Gather any allies you think you will need or that will come with you. The war effort by the mortals has drained all of our coffers, including your own, as I understand. But we can spare some gold to help you with expenses. Unfortunately, I can spare nothing else. No men, no arms, no horses. You are on your own. Travel to Apollonia. Make contact with the local rulers and priests. Do what you have to do to find out what's happening in the city. Find the infiltrators and strike them down. We have little time, but we can spare a few moments for questions.
We have, I think you were about to say.
Yeah, but
Well, we have little time, but we can spare a few moments for questions. Did you guys
Okay.
hear anything before that?
Probably we heard what you said before that. I mean, we have important task. We will go to the Apolloni. We will get human allies, which can help Rome.
Copy
And we will
pasting
go-
on Roll20 to make sure you guys got it all. There we go.
Okay.
Let me.
That doesn't look like we missed much.
Okay, sorry.
Okay.
Near
I know
modern
that-
day Vlore, Vlore.
I know Dalmatian probably is referring to like a region, but I'm just imagining like a coast made entirely of dog.
Yeah, black and white films.
So I have a question. This Apollone, is it known as a Tizimishi territory?
It's right on the border. We're right at the southern part where Zamisi can come down in. Yeah.
Okay, so therefore he asked about it. I see. Is there a time limit? I asked it to the Camilla. Is there a time limit?
As soon as possible. The prophecies do not tell me details. They have told me everything I have told you. It is coming soon. There are Cainites there preparing the way to soften it up for a mortal army, and that there is something important that will happen there. And if you are there, the event will swing our way and not the Carthage way.
Okay. Do I know the fastest route to the Apollone, the city we have to go? Is it
Sea.
ship?
Yes, by ship.
Okay. So, I believe the ship captain and the ship is not handle it for us. We have to do it too.
You have to do it all on your own.
Okay. So yeah, finding ship might take several nights, but whatever. So if there is no more information that Camilla can share us,
I have a
well,
question, my Lord Camilla.
Yes,
If I
ask
may.
it.
What are the kindred in the city of Apollonia, and who do you consider we could trust?
I don't know. I don't know any of them. I know only the city is quite important. It is a very good ally to Rome as a city.
Would it be possible? Should we carry a sign from you, a token that we could show to those who are loyal to recognize our loyalty?
Yes, that's a good idea. I will have you provided with a badge.
So, from what I understand, time is important. I think it's best that we should start working on and assemble everything we need right from now on. If my associates, friends have no more question and there's no more information to spare.
You mentioned that there are infiltrators waiting to soften up the city for the mortal army. Is there anything that you could tell us about these infiltrators? Did the visions reveal anything about how they might be identified, or about how they plan to soften the city?
And possibly how many there may be.
Rather than me explaining this, touch the skin.
I'll be next step forward and reaches to touch the skin.
Hat will do so.
As the two of you touch the skin, it's a very small piece. It's about the size of your palm. Only a couple people can touch it at a time.
Oh.
Your vision is overwhelmed instantly, and it's like you're flying in half a second. You fly across the ocean, fly across the sea, across Italy, straight to this city. And you see a great temple dedicated to Apollo falling into ruins. And you see several well-known landmarks of this great city of 60,000 people. And the vision is a vision of the foundations of the city beginning to rot and crack. And it is almost like it's going to slide into the river and slide. And you see a symbol of horses and ships overwhelming the city from the east and from the north. And then just like that, the vision's gone.
Agnes steps back. The seas are not going to be safe once the attack begins. We are going to have to move fast if we wish to return to the same path to the ship through the same way that we arrived.
I know someone who I might be able to convince to help us with transportation. I believe he would if not to be able to handle it, have contacts that could at least ease the process of finding a ship.
Okay. Can I judge what is the most important thing we have to arrange as fast as possible at this stage? Is it
Yes,
the
that's going to be a wits plus seneschal roll.
shit? Okay. You know what? While I'm thinking about it, I will tell my couturier to think about it themselves too, so that all of us can find a solution to this. So I shared that thought with them.
Shall you say? If only Lucius Horatius were here.
I mean, I do not have any seneschal. My ghoul have, but they are not with me right now. With seneschal, it will be difficulty 7 then, and I will roll 3 dice. Whoa. What?
Man, that is out. What? I was gonna say that's outstanding, but you rolled way too many dice.
Okay, two success. Yeah. So what do I get for 2 success?
Well, you already know you're getting a badge of authority that you are approaching under the official auspices of the Eternal Senate.
So is this the most important thing we have to have?
No, it is not. You bring gifts.
Yeah.
Bring a gift.
Wait, are we all rolling this?
If you like. You don't have to.
What was the roll again?
So
wits plus seneschal.
Wits plus seneschal. So I'm
So
difficult.
literally we have to bring them gifts. That's the most important thing we have to arrange.
No, it's not. I'm trying to get to it.
Oh.
You need money, gifts, because gifts will, and you call them gifts. Don't call them bribes. Call them gifts. To ease the way in society, right?
Yeah.
Preferably before we start flashing the badge around.
Weapons and armor, absolutely. You cannot leave them behind.
No.
I see. Yeah. So
Bodyguard.
here's the thing. You know what? Valoris will assemble everyone, and he will tell whatever money you got, we have to all get all of it together. We have to make a pool of money, then invest it on to find a good ship. I'll probably dominate the captain to don't fuck with us. We get any weapons that those who doesn't possess it, for those that doesn't have it. Armor too.
Yep.
I can drain, not aggravatedly, but superficially my domain to get some more money.
There's one thing you guys are missing.
Yeah.
He said something that I don't think you guys are remembering.
Yeah, I remember. I was asking. I'm not sure if I remember that one. I had a question that why Tzimisce were important in this?
Because this is the edge of Tzimisce territory.
Mm-hmm.
So what we are
need those gifts.
Yeah, is that the thing we miss? Gifts?
Are we talking
No,
about?
it has to
Are you
be
talking
something
about gathering any allies?
We need to
That's it.
gather allies,
Labiana's
yeah.
got it.
Yeah, we
Yes.
will do the missions, but that's when we arrive there. What I'm saying.
No.
You think that she will
It. There was one more thing he said. He said there's no room for error. It means we have to put everything we got into it, meaning just training ourselves of our allies as well to make it as decisive push as possible.
So Labiana then turns to the coterie and says, who do you think we should take with us as allies?
I mean, I do have a small family. Maybe I can say, if you help me, this will increase your reputation as you help Rome to rise from the fallen state of it now, blah blah, some sort of. Can I use my ally like that and get something out of it?
Let's think. What are we putting ourselves into? We're putting ourselves into a possible siege. So we should get any bodyguards you may have. If we have contacts like that, maybe we should get any sort of siege engineers or any inventors that could help us in reinforcing the city, should this be the case. Perhaps there's going to be a huge panic in the city and huge problem with the wounded, so maybe we can arrange some medical force and something like that.
We know where they
In the case of a siege, it could be good to have our herds with us as well. After starve.
it might be a good idea going to be attacked in the sea and from the land in the north. If we had to perhaps prepare, have a few trappers or something, people that could prepare traps along those paths. And these, what the vision showed the city sliding into the river, rotting from beneath. We have someone that might have what's the word? Some architects to ensure that the city is going to be well strengthened for whatever they are planning.
Don't take that. This is the Malkavian vision, so don't take that too literally.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's the vision that the seer got.
So
Well, considering that we're a small force, we cannot just take huge battalions of people. We can take specialists that can at least teach others what to do and give us some additional information.
I mean, the best
Maybe
we can.
Could we perhaps see if we can take any Roman soldiers with us as captive units?
Bodyguards are a must.
The battle ensues.
I will try to get in touch with an acquaintance of mine who might be able to help us acquire transportation. Then we would know how many people we could take with us.
Okay, but at this stage, at minimum, it should be enough to take like us and good goose, which can fight, and some chest, probably full of money. So we should get a big enough because we will carry many things with us. So we will need probably servants too to carry those stuff. We will need big bags with like holding weapons, armor, and all that stuff. So we will need a pretty big room actually.
I believe I should be able to take care of the bodyguards and soldiers that we require.
I have a herd 7 if we need to take them along.
7 dots or 7 people?
7 people, not 7 dots.
Oh yeah, because that I start to get worried. We did a fight with that many people.
So wait, did you say your contact can provide us a ship which can 7 people?
Either, perhaps not provide us a ship, but go to get the ship at a space.
So which kind of specialists are we going to take next to us, considering our limit is 7? Wait.
Okay.
Who has auspex?
I have only 1 level.
Anybody with auspex, roll your auspex rating.
Okay. Difficulty 6?
Yes.
It's a 1 success.
Nicodemus, you're going to a city famed for its temple to Apollo. Who else do you know who worships Apollo?
Oh, yeah!
Labiena, you are aware of several kindred, and including one in the city who has befriended your local Lasombra, who might be willing to go along with you.
And can we actually take the Tzimmishin neonate friend of Albina with us too?
You can
Considering
ask
we
him.
are-
You can't force him, but you can ask him.
Okay, would it be
Are you
helpful?
Are you
So,
talking about?
No.
The guy in the Greek, the one with the true faith. The
I don't. I think
But
she
but
she wasn't there for that.
he's a halfway from the Rome. How can we get him? He's on a completely different. Oh, no, it's not the same island. That's a completely different island. Why are we even bringing him up?
I'm trying to figure out who that is.
Albina said she has a friend Zamisi in the city who might be willing to go. You'd have to go talk to him.
would it be helpful to take Tzimishi with us to a territory of Tzimishi?
I know you can't see me
So
through
I tell that to-
I know you can't see me through the computer, but I was trying to give you guys a giant hint by having you roll aspects.
We need to get.
Okay, so let's
Yeah, mortal health is
let's
awesome.
do it like-
Not nearly as awesome as having somebody with true faith on your side, maybe, possibly.
No. Yeah, but the
That
thing
would be
with
grand, but he had a lot of days to get to his place and
um,
get him with us.
the thing is also that she said that he was not a fighter. That
No,
she was
he's-
a more
That's
But
true.
he's
I am
not
putting it
going to
out there that you guys are
and there's also
not considering all your options. When he said seek out allies, there's more than one option of mortals.
there's also the what's the name? The Ventru guy that said that he's going to stand to Artemis.
Yeah, but he's in the opposite.
Okay.
What about all the
okay. Well,
kindred that we delivered our letters to? Can we call on some of them?
Some of them, like maybe the that Bruja from Missolonge, I think was the name of the.
he has too many responsibilities as a prince.
Maybe, but he might be willing to send some help, some resources away, some of
True.
his people.
Are we really Are we really wanting to involve Bruja Priceps into this?
This is also true.
Carthage is our enemy.
Artemis
No, no.
trust and respects him, or the very least is willing to talk to him. That's trust.
That's not the same as alliance.
I'm trying to go back and remember everyone that we've.
Actually, there was that can happen.
The only
There is also
Okay.
that Cappadocian guy.
Hold on. Let's. Yeah. Hold on. We need to try and just take a breath and.
Okay, so here's my question: how much time would it take to get to Ilamus and then transport him to our?
If you give me one moment, I will actually tell you exactly. If you went overland to Apollonia, it would take you 9 days because you go overland, take a boat, and that's the fastest way to do it. However, adding that stop in, you would just basically
It's
go by
supposed to get
sea.
sent out.
Okay. Actively. So a month.
But
We have to probably.
Friends, you know what is my suggestion? I think we should write on a paper what we are going, so that we don't have to speak about it again and again. We should probably take note of we need those options are. We just do our best to complete all of those.
It would add 4 days to the journey.
Let's start with simple things. We need allies to take with us, right?
Or even just
We need
provide
gifts.
aid.
Yes, but wait. We need allies which can help us on this mission. We need gifts. we need manpower, which can help us to clash with enemies. Make a good
Infantry.
recognition. Yeah, we need a politician, like a man who knows how to use religion good. Definitely Apollo.
So we need
anyone?
someone who knows politics in Apollonia, both mortal and Cainite. Another question to the prince is, does he know a man who knows a lot about Cainite politics in this region?
We can find a kindred from Apollonia, which is in Rome. We can try to find such a person. There is a Tzimishi friend of Albina. She can contact with him to come with us. I mean, the Tzimishi to Tzimishi might make some things easier. Anyone wants something else?
I believe Artemis's grandchild offered that he's always loyal to Rome and he's ready to assist. We should write to him
But
as well.
is his city is on the way to Apollonia?
Can't think of it.
I mean,
Map. I don't know.
yeah, that's the thing. He can definitely help us, but he can he help us at the? And then there is a Carthage
Yeah,
all over on
Ramael and
Italy.
Paparos. Yes.
So there's Italy being invaded by Carthage. That's a fact too. So my friend, we don't have to limit ourselves with humans or kindred. We can try to get the best out of it, considering two options. We will definitely need a religion man. If we can find Apollo, at least some other religion man would be helpful. Now, I will expect Albina to contact with his Tzimishi friend as fast as possible and offer him to join us at this mission to this for the sake of the Rome.
Who are you asking to help?
Hold on, I'm made a quick list of some of. I think this is everyone that we have. We could potentially leverage some aid.
Oh, okay. I'll stop typing them. Albina's boy. Okay, so just have a list right now.
Okay, I'll tell you, Abinadab and Uziel are not starters because they have their own stuff to take care of.
Okay.
Is Fozia even in the city? I really doubt she'd be interested in something like that.
Yeah, she is not in the area.
I believe Ihamus will be the best provider, but Ihamus will be the best provider, but I am sure by doing this we would give some big leverage to him too. But should we make that sacrifice? That's the important thing, right? I think we should make that leverage at this point.
I mean, I might be able to get a better rate from him on account of, I'd still probably have to do something, but
I mean, Ihamus is the best. I mean, if we contact with Ihamus, he can get the ship. He can provide us some information about Kindred, which is devoted to Apollo in Rome.
I could also provide her as well, so that we can have plenty of stock of blood if needed. My fellow mortal Dispater worshippers.
I mean, it's the best option is Ihamus, right, Chris? It looks like that, right? Because
well, the prince has given you basically a note that gives you access to resources 4, which will not refill once you spend it.
Mm-hmm.
So you can get a ship. You have the money for it without going for favors. But if you wish to saved your money and instead expend a favor, then yes, you can go to Ihamus.
I mean, I think that money will be helpful, and we don't have anything other than us, so we should save it. I would suggest that we should go to the Ihamus. You know, tell them that we need a ship big enough to carry all of us and several people with us, possibly. Which can go to Apollo. Like I will probably suggest that we should do that. Save as much money as to spend on other things as like allies, gifts, things we need as like weapons, armor, etc., etc. So
Okay, we've made a list of people that we know. Let's also consider what backgrounds we all have. As potential assets we just straight up attribute. Hatshepsut has 1 dot of resources, 2 dots of herd, and 2 retainers. One of whom is a seneschal, the other is a bodyguard.
Volus has resources 1, context 2. I have a domain of 2, which I can drive at some point to, turn it to money. I have ally. I don't think influence can help us with this. I have some retainers which can help me. My retainer says no money though, I believe. I think W says like 1 money, 1 dot of resources. So I can get his money too. I mean, I can probably assemble like... I should assemble like 3 dots of money.
Remember, all of your resources are 2 lower than they would normally are.
Yeah.
Still too low? Yeah.
The city actually, in 215, the city actually passed a law forbidding women from displaying wealth because they needed the money too much. So women were no longer allowed to display signs of wealth. No expensive jewelry, no expensive clothes. Yeah, they were hurting for money.
Okay, so we need a Toreador. We need a devoted of Apollo. Apollo's devoted kindred or kind. Ihamus can provide us the ship. Let's say we do that. We find a Toreador. We find let's say we find a good politician Toreador, and Tizimishi and Apollo devoted person. We go to Ihamus, we get the ship, we use the left of the resources coming from the prince and ourselves to get some gifts, good gifts, armor, weapons, some bodyguards, good bodyguards which will not run. Yeah, I mean, I can use my contact because one of my comments, he can maybe point me to some loyal veterans, and I can go to them like, dire situations, I have money, come with me to this place and fight with me. This is for the sake of the Rome, blah blah. I can go on like that. I can use my contact. So if we do all of those, is there anything left, Chris?
To make as much research of Apollonia as possible, and also see if he can get some knowledgeable mortal.
Well, I gave you all the hints I'm
About
going
the
to give
area.
you for a 2 successes on a seneschal roll. Nicodemus has a good idea. There's one thing you can learn about Apollonia here that you would like to know. And when I say here, I mean in Rome, not right here where you're standing.
Mm-hmm.
So that's going to be a wits plus investigation roll, as you are out gathering supplies.
Does anyone here have investigation?
Yeah, I have.
Nobian has 1 dot.
No successes.
can roll again at one
is it
higher.
something I can really? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Can Nobian
Let's
make
try.
the same roll?
Yes, you can.
Investigation?
Stuck.
So I get 2 success because I have 110 and willpower spendy. So
That was was it wits plus investigation?
Yes, it's wits plus investigation.
Um,
Valerius, you are too busy gathering your own stuff to make these inquiries. You've got a lot
Really?
on
It's
your
difficult
plate.
6,
and,
right?
Yes, that's 6. Labiena's got it, and so does Albina. They speak. The majority of people there do not speak Greek or Latin. Only the upper class speaks anything but the native tongue.
What do
Do you
they
know what's
say?
the native?
Okay.
Nobody.
So,
They can't tell you what it is. Technically, it's called Dacian, but none of you guys have ever heard of it.
That's why Nicodemus wants to hit the libraries and see if he learns anything.
Well, that's what the investigation roll was.
Okay.
can we get a man who speaks that language? Can we
No,
hire
you're not
that
going to find
person?
anybody in Rome who speaks that.
Not a choice.
But we can get it on that land.
I'm
Yeah,
assuming they're all
again,
covered.
only the upper class, as I said, only the upper class, the rich people, and therefore can afford to be well educated, speak anything but Dacian. So
I
if you
assume
find
the
somebody who can translate, you're probably not going to hire them as a translator. That doesn't mean you can't convince them. It just means you can't hire them.
Because ultimately it's them that we're looking for, right? Or
So anyway,
We can just prevent one of the upper classes, all of the scribes, or something along this line.
Okay, I think we've considered and sort of enough.
all right, the prince has one last piece of information for you. Okay. Any Cainites found working with the Carthaginians or taking advantage of the chaos to raid Roman lands are to be considered under a blood hunt and are to be captured and returned to Rome for interrogation if possible, and only killed if unavoidable.
understood.
Understand. Okay, so let's say we go to. Okay, my suggestion is we go to the Ihamus for the ship. We use the money pooled by our own standards and the money given by the prince to get the manpower, equipment, weapons. What is it?
Provisions.
Provisions, gifts, etc., etc. We use the money for that. We get the Tizimishi friend of Albin if we can. I hope she can do that.
Try and pull in Ramiel and Papa Roach as well.
Ramiel should be torpedoed right now. We get a Toreador speaking Toreador. Hopefully the Toreador can come with us too. That makes 2 kindred allies. Soldiers, which I use my contact to get loyal veterans to fight with us. Get our ghouls. I can get my ghoul, which can fight, and Albina can get her own ghoul, which can fight also.
Our character Labiana also has 1 dot of herd. I don't know if that'll be useful.
Yeah, herd is people that hang out around you a lot, basically.
Okay.
Not necessarily.
Okay.
You can't count on them to go on a long trip with you.
Okay, you guys sort out your stuff. Hat is going to go to Ihamus. Tell him not reveal everything, but reveal that she's been given an important task by some of the most powerful individuals in the city to go to this area, and she was wondering if he could help with finding transportation.
He will answer, of course I can help. But I was there and I saw what happened. So therefore it is no long leap to assume this has to deal with the Malkavian's prophecy. So, am I speaking with one who has great authority and can command a great favor, or am I speaking with one who comes on a personal basis?
I think I can probably exert a favor if it's necessary.
From you personally, or is this to come as you as an agent?
As an agent, let's say, then.
Then it shall be merely a minor boon, using your authority as an agent.
Very well. Blessings of Set be upon you. I shall go tell the others that I'm traveling with.
I shall arrange for the ship, and it shall probably be 2 ships traveling together due to the danger.
Thank you kindly, cousin.
What?
Cousin in-law.
Is Het aware of that?
That's what Het just promised him.
Can he do that actually? Like, I mean, if Eternal Sense says no, he will get fucked, I presume. I mean, she will get fucked, I presume.
Well, that's why the prince gave you a badge of authority.
He did. So we do actually have the right to do this, even if we don't know just how big a deal we've done.
Yeah, they may not be happy with it, but they will honor it. Artemis, the people, the venture on the Road of Kings will make sure it is honored.
Yeah.
So,
Yes, he will.
and in exchange, what did we wanted from Ihamus again? What did Het wanted from the Ihamus?
He is sorting out transportation for us. 2 ships, so that can probably mean like a lot of. That probably means we can take a fair amount of people with us.
Okay. So we got the ship part, right? We got the ship, I presume. Chris?
Yes, that's taken care of.
Okay, so we need the allies now. Albina, did you went to your Tzimishi friend and asked him to come with us? Meantime? Just... Okay.
Just to talk with her, with Verdun and ask him if he knows of any other soldiers that might be willing to be hired on as mercenaries, and she's going to try to.
No mercenaries. I can handle the soldier.
Hold on. There are no soldiers in Rome. None. They are all to a man on a battlefield.
So he does not have any recommendations. Anyone?
No. There are very few men of true fighting ability or shape in Rome right now. There's lots of homeless people, no landowners. Because remember, in Rome, you have to be a landowner to be in the military.
Yes.
So there's plenty of men, plenty of strong guys, but nobody who's had any kind of formal training.
No one had to military experience.
Right. No training or real experience.
No veteran too then.
No, because I have time to train them.
All right. If you want to convince the Zamisi, that's going to be a charisma plus leadership roll. Enchanting voice will not apply for this one.
I mean, can she use her body to
Well, let's just go
do it?
charisma plus leadership and see if she can convince him to come.
Okay. Do
There's
your best.
Does the badge from the prince gives any bonus?
Not for this one. Because he's going to be involved one way or another. It's just a matter of where, in what way is he involved. All right, he's coming with you.
Awesome.
Okay, nice. And so can I use my contacts? I mean, my contact was a military man, so at least get a veteran or something, right?
No, there are no vets. There are nobody.
Nothing.
Nobody.
And nothing
Maybe we can get someone from the underworld.
So he can point me to anywhere too. That's included too. Okay. Okay. We need a Toreador, a Neonate, or Ancilla, I don't know. The Toreador, which has some politic knowledge too. At least we have to find it. Now, no, I think none of us, at least, I'm excluding Labiana, has status. Is there a way we can find the Toreador kindred? I mean, does contact help for that? Or Artemis?
Okay.
I
Guys,
had some
I'm going to cut the discussion off. You will find no other kindred in Rome who will go with you. You
So
picked
you
one,
couldn't-
you got one.
You couldn't cut
so
the
no
discussion
more
because your
allies
voice.
No more kindred in Rome. Nobody else can go with you. You find nobody else, especially on such short notice.
Okay. Can
So
we
the
at
only
least-
one we got is the Zimitsi friend. So no Papa, no Ramael, no.
No, I had made the call on my notes that you were going to get one kindred from Rome, and that's the first one you guys recruited.
Okay.
Okay. Can we get the provisions and the equipment and the weapons and all that stuff for us?
Hold on. So still allies. He said no more allies from Rome, but we would like to get some allies from outside Rome. I believe it's in order to write down a letter to Ilemus. Who should be best suited for the task? Should it be Albina or Nicodemus to compose a letter to him?
And can we get a craftsman too? As you said, Dashiri likes to feed off craftsmen, especially weavers. Can we hire a weaver?
You don't think
Something
there's
like-
weavers in Apollonia? You don't think that's a hint as to where to find the man?
Ah. So you say we should get that man in Apollonia, not here?
Well, you're not going to get him here. That's the Dashuri guy is the prince of Apollonia, and Artemis has heard he likes to feed on weavers.
He likes to feed on weavers. Feed on, you mean like this, okay.
So we look for a weaver. See what they know.
Can I ask
Pivot, hold on.
just have Barrington how much time he thinks that you'd need to train a soldier?
Months.
Month. Not
We don't have months.
So,
Yes.
I mean, at best they could be as cannon fodder.
I mean, we can at least get our ghouls, right? I can get the Titus and Albina can get his ghoul.
It's
her
very
ghoul.
easy for you to gather what's on your character sheet.
Okay, and let's say we get the provisions, weapons, items, armors, and all that stuff using the money we pulled together and the money given by the prince, and we do it for the ghouls too. There is no soldier, so it means loyalty can be a problem even if we can get some people with us.
Otherwise, I think we've done everything we can do.
I mean, we have 2 ships, but we are like right now only 1,000 person or something like that, so it's kind of sad that we took 1 more ship with us.
What's going on?
I mean, yeah, I don't think I have 2, but maybe I can trade. I do not believe so, but whatever. Can I try what Nicodemus is suggesting now?
Try what?
To write a letter to Iemus in hopes that he can secure his aid in
Not
Apollonia.
Ilemus.
All right, Nicodemus is writing it up. That's a wits plus expression roll.
Wits plus expression.
Yep.
Let's put a willpower to it.
I mean, if you can come to me, I can try to do a better one.
Well, gee, thanks, Mr. Leader.
Yes, seriously, like, if you think like the letter is not very good, you can come to me and I can trade too. This will be the in-game sense of me making the roll.
You, Valerius, I think need to write a letter to Artemis's grandchild. And
out of character, I don't think so. I don't believe Artemis's grandchild thinks highly of him.
And affect as much humility as possible, I was about to say. As an inferior, begging aid from someone wiser than he.
Sure, but which venture are we talking about? The venture Prince of Greece or any grandchild in Rome?
The one on the last island.
Last time. Okay. Yeah, I can try to do that. I mean,
what are the chances he's actually going to respond to it in
time?
If he writes it down? Maybe it should be Albina.
No, I can do it like this. What's in my head is simple. I write that after what you have said, I've been went through to the deepest weaknesses of myself, and I trained with my patron Artemis to get rid of those problems. And in the end, I took her congratulations and acceptance and cleared the poison dancing inside my veins, and now I stand here humbly asking your aid for this matter, blah blah blah. And
Okay, I'm gonna tell you there's one thing you need to include. I'll give you an experience point if you can tell me what it is.
Okay.
And you get only you as a venture get to say this.
Okay, one thing we can include in the text, you mean?
Yes.
There
is one phrase, one exact phrase. If you can tell me that exact phrase.
My cousin or brother, can you help me, please? I seek your aid or something like that.
Nope.
You like as a Ventru, I'm asking you another Ventru's help. So I don't recall the right phrase, but
you invoke the ethic of aid and succor.
Yeah, isn't this like that? As a Ventru,
no, you must say the phrase.
Ethic of suck. Okay, yeah, I don't remember. I know that there's this special help you can ask, but I didn't remember the right thing for that. Ethic of aid and succor. Okay, so yeah, I can include that. Ethic of aid and succor. Can you help us?
If you include that phrase,
it will be a boon, right?
it's not a boon, but your standing in relation to him is like he gains a shitload of dignitas for honoring this, and you lose a shitload of it for asking.
Ooh.
Ooh.
But it's not like a mechanics thing. You know, it's not a boon.
Yeah, sure. Okay, we ask this. If I ask his head, what can he do even? No, like what
I'm not
can
going to tell you. You can ask his aid, or you're not going to ask his aid. One or the other.
Okay, then ask, I will ask like this. Is Apollonia far away from where he is? I mean, what is the distance between the two cities when you consider it?
Approximately 5 days of sailing.
5 days of sailing approximately. From Rome to Apollonia, how long is it?
Approximately 9 days of travel. To
So
go
he
from
can...
Rome to either Ilemis or Teros, because you only get one, and then to Apollonia is 14 days total.
I mean, well, you know what the fuck is... Yeah, I do that. I write the Ethic of Aid and Success and
Okay.
like...
Nicodemus, you wrote a letter as well. Which one are you going to send? Yours or...
I'm not going to roll?
No, you're not going to roll because you're including that ethic. Are you going to... Which letter are you going to take? You only get one. Choose wisely.
Should we get a Toreador or should we get a Jew? Nicodemus is going to say, I have doubts that Ilemus is going to leave his temple. I mean, he was pretty much tied to the place and considered it his life's calling, his unlife's calling.
On the other hand, if he did come, it could potentially provide a much stronger advantage.
I agree.
So do we want to gamble this?
I mean, another thing is that I've also read a letter, so you can have a glimpse if it makes any sense and judge it whether we could improve it or have I been appealing enough for the Toreador's tastes.
Yeah, I will check it actually. I want to check his letter and see how well it is. Can I do that?
Sure, make a wits plus expression roll to critique it.
Yes, let me check my stats.
Botch.
Okay, 6 dice. One, two success. So
it's okay. It's not bad.
But it's not perfect too.
It's not perfect, but it's not bad.
Okay, I'm like this. You know what? This is not good enough. Make better one. Or you know what? Can I like check it and try to make a better letter by myself? Like
make a wits plus expression roll.
Okay, it should be same. Oh fuck.
Yeah,
Can I reroll?
You got one success. You can reroll it one difficulty higher.
Okay, so it will be 7, and I will use willpower point.
Wait, what dice pool do you have for that?
Wits plus expression should be 6 dice.
So 1, 2. Again, I have 2. Same. Fuck.
Yeah. You're about the same as Nicodemus. You are not doing any better than he did.
Well, way to go, smartass. You're going out of your way to be the leader of us all. You critique me, and then you're providing no better results. Splendid. Good luck on your road.
You don't even know what I did to succeed at this mission. You don't even know. While you come to me with this letter, okay? Don't give me a lesson. I did my sacrifice, and I give enough thing. What about you? Come to me. We will make a better letter. We will make a better letter. You will help me. We will make a better one.
Now that's a better statement.
I will also want my political ghoul to help me. You know, he has some knowledge about politics too. I mean, he can help me with the expression ethics. So I want to take like helps from wherever I can at this point. So
Yeah, is
what
it possible that we pull our knowledges and
Yeah,
to
I
actually
mean-
Okay, here's
relate-
what we're gonna do. Nicodemus, you're gonna make a roll. You're gonna add 2 dice for help. One from Lucius and one from his ghoul. Wits plus expression plus 2 extra dice.
Okay, I'm gonna try and invoke some familiarity, and that I'm gonna abuse a little the fact that I know the man, and I expressed appreciation for all of his stuff that he's doing.
Okay.
We're doing that thing where we overanalyze again, aren't we?
No, we
think
were
so.
doing this everything, but that's assuming we're sending this letter, right?
This is your last chance.
Okay.
Please,
Is it
chances.
willpower?
Please,
Sure,
gods
you can
of
spend
dice.
willpower.
4, 6, 7 dice. 3 successes.
4. You spend it 1 willpower. 4 successes.
You are pretty sure that both letters will work. The one for Taros or the one for Ilemus. But you're also pretty sure that you don't want the 2 of them together. So which one are you gonna pick?
I vote Lemus.
Wait,
I
who
have
are
my
we gonna
doubts,
pick?
but I vote Ilemus.
Okay, wait. Who are we between? Ventru or the
Or Toreador?
Toreador?
Venture or Toreador?
Toreador.
Okay. Oh, so yeah, I'm saying yeah, Toreador is better, so I don't need to send my own letter.
Okay.
Yeah, that being a vote's Toreador.
Okay. That sounds like good to me.
Then we learn he got murdered by Barley off screen. Nah.
You know what? Nah, it will be metagaming. I'm not going to suggest that. No need that. So we have 4 success letter. I hope it will be enough.
Okay, so you guys have everything on your character sheet. You have all of your supplies that you have talked to me about.
Yeah,
You
I
have,
mean we
you
use
have
the
the tools you're taking with you. You have your armor. You have your weapons, which includes
And I
all
want
your
to
silver weapons.
Mhm.
Yeah, and I do want to take my celestial ghoul with me so that he can keep track of
are
the
you
money
sure?
things.
Are you
I-
sure?
There must be someone who keep tracks of the money is going and out and all that stuff, right? I mean, if
So
Because
we
you
convert-
kind of need him to take care of your estate at home.
oh yeah, that's the thing.
Whenever-
Yeah, I leave him. I don't take him. I leave him in the room to take care of my stuff. No, I don't take him. Okay, yeah, I don't take that ghoul. I don't take the celestial ghoul.
Which ghoul do you take?
I just take the Titus.
Okay, you're taking Titus.
Yeah, I'm taking
Okay.
Titus.
I'll take Heraclius and leave Dejen with a whole bunch of Typhon's brew.
Okay,
I'm taking Baritone.
okay. Labiena?
I think I can only take one. Well, I don't have any ghouls.
Yeah, you can't really take your herd with you.
No, I thought I might be able to take one with me. Damn.
Chris, I have a question.
Uh-huh.
Like, if we take all of those money pulled together and the princess money pulled together, what's left to us?
Well, first off, the prince's money does not refill, so I really don't want to pool it together with yours. But you do have a resources for chest of money to draw on.
I see. So, I mean, we can at least try to get like 4, 5 good looking. I mean, by good looking, I mean loyal looking and strong looking guys at least with us, maybe. But it will be hard to find.
I think we've
right?
got between us all, we've got enough bodyguards.
Yeah, we can get some gladiators with us maybe and dominate them, or
Gladiators
Some of us-
are not a good fighting force. They're actors.
Not
And
in
they
that
are in-
sense.
And they are likely being sent to battle already.
Yeah.
Actually, their owners are probably very reluctant to part with them.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's probably more trouble than it's worth.
Also,
It's
I'm
probably-
not sure. I'm not sure if this is true, but I heard somewhere that gladiators are also seen as top-notch slaves for other purposes.
Breeding stock. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
maybe some thugs then gangs, although they're going to betray us at the closest opportunity.
Yeah, they will
I-
steal the money. They
I
will
also-
steal the
Yeah.
money.
I honestly think we're good on muscle.
Okay, we are good on muscle. We have some goods, me and some of us. We have the armors for each of us. I believe we all have, by the way, silver gladius and tower. I believe all of us have that now.
Not everyone has a tower shield.
Really?
No.
I'm pretty sure only you do, Valerius.
Yeah.
I mean, they need a shield, right? Because if you fight, it will be better for them to have a shield.
Yes, but a shield is worthless without training.
I see. I use this piece of shit. Can I can I get shield for Titus? I mean, can he use a shield?
Yes, you can.
My ghoul. Okay, at least I get armor and shield.
All right, write it
for
on his
him.
character sheet. Write on your character sheet what you give him. Write on
Okay.
his character sheet.
Sure, I'm going to do that. Wait a moment.
Put it in the notes.
So I will. Yeah, I will write in silver gladius, tower shield, Roman armor, 3rd level, 3 soak, -1 dexterity dice.
-2.
I
I'll
thought
put
3rd level is
Level 3 armor is -2 dice.
really? Is it 2?
Yes.
It's 3 soak dice and takes out 1 dexterity, right?
Takes out 2 dexterity.
Really? In the book, it's 3
Takes out
soak
2.
and.
Level
Okay.
2 armor takes out 1 dice and gives you 2 soak.
Huh. But the 2nd level gives 2 dice, a soak, and takes out 1.
Correct.
Okay, interesting. Yeah, okay, then I will take the 2nd. I mean, he doesn't have that much dexterity, so.
I'll write down some. I'll write down equipment for both me and Heraclius.
Okay.
Is it too late for Labiana to turn one of her herd into a before they leave? Or
You had 3 years to get a ghoul. Do you want a ghoul?
Yeah.
Put down
Probably
a
a good
ghoul on
idea.
put down a retainer on your character sheet, and we'll go through it later. You had 3 years to recruit one. You'd have one if you want it.
okay, so one that will-
What?
Can you say it again, please? We should be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 human, right? Is there more than 7 individual in this group, which is going to Apollonia? Alexios grandfather.
Yeah, that's the big badass Amici that gets on board with you guys.
My book. Fuck my Tizimi.
Oh, this is
A
me
really
shaking.
faint picture, but okay.
I understand. So yeah, we have the gifts, right? By the way, do we have to make a roll to get the appropriate gifts?
Nope. You write down what gifts you're bringing.
We have to write down.
Write them down.
So we probably
Okay.
need that weaver then. Capture ourselves a weaver.
I mean, yeah. Can we get a good weaver, like a good quality weaver?
No,
We can. Why?
because you don't need one.
Oh.
No.
He feeds on
Yeah,
weavers.
Someone-
Are you sure there's no weavers in a city of 50,000 people?
Yeah, probably there is.
Yeah,
but just-
I thought we should get one in Apollonia.
Okay. So, okay. Other gifts. Can I make the appropriate roll? Which gifts would please Apollonia people or the kindreds of Apollonia
have
and
no-
humans?
No, I want you to write down what gifts you're getting.
We have probably no idea what kind of people are there, so we
This
should
is a
probably
complete
stop
guess.
with-
Write down a list of the gifts that you're getting.
Okay, can you at least say what we know about Apollo?
They worship Apollo. They speak Dacian.
So, what would Apollo's worshipper would
Okay,
like?
let's be the cheap guy. I'll make a copy of my document about the Apollonite temple, even though introducing another temple in a Apollo city temple would strike some rivalry. But hell, let's have it. Nicodemus is if there is time, Nicodemus is also going to scour some library and make copies
All right,
of
let
the
me
more
ask you guys
interesting.
this: how much time do you spend gathering all this?
What's the minimum time we need to have the ship prepared?
1 night.
One night. Okay.
We need to act fast, so we can.
Yeah,
we
I
have
think
to-
we.
We do.
I have no time for copies then.
Yeah, I mean, I think we do our best to do it as fast as possible. So.
Okay. Once I've doled out some Typhon's brew to Degen, I'm gonna take all the stock I have, any that I've stocked up, and pack it up. That might get them as a small boon for the Cainites. Might, at least go.
What?
Okay.
Why,
Write it
why
down.
did you do
You brought a whole bunch of it with you.
Aha, for the Canis of.
I want to
Apollo.
see a list in Discord of what gifts you guys are bringing.
Okay, okay. Chris, I have this question then. What would a person worshipping Apollo would like as a gift? Can I make a roll for that?
Wits plus theology.
Yeah, sure. I'm asking. I'm saying that to others too. I mean, I'm letting them make the roll too, just so you know.
Wits plus theology.
Albina would know probably.
If you can do it, just make the roll.
The botches.
So I have one success.
Yeah.
Just having a lot of money in vices would be gifts as well.
Probably not specific. Really, from 6 dice, we are rolling so bad. We are rolling so bad.
Yeah, they like gold. That's what you.
I mean, why are
they
we
like
like
gold.
this? They like gold?
Gold.
Interesting. Oh, wait, Apollo, sun. Okay, yeah, do we have
Probably
gold?
some.
I don't know. With resources 4 and everything you gathered, do you have gold?
Can we get like at least 2 gold piece? Like not money piece, like literally gold, rectangular like shaped. Hold it in one hand. It's really big. The gold chunk of gold.
Do we have to make this roll?
No, you don't have to make it.
I mean, do you have theology? Because it would be good if you have it.
All right. With 1 success, they like gold. That's all you know. Gold.
So here's another idea I have. If there's no time to copy, at least I'm going to. Are there any interesting piece of art and literature and poetry in Abinadab's library that have copies and could be something that would interest a art seekers such as Toreador?
Call high or low.
High.
No, nothing that you think would interest them. There's plenty with copies. Nothing you think would interest them.
Okay.
Okay, so two gold piece, how much would we take out from our pool of money? By the way, by 2 gold piece, I mean like a chunk of gold. Like, wait, ringot, whatever it's called. I will try to.
Amulet?
Sorry.
Take a dot out.
So 4 is left as 3, right?
Yep.
That 4 is 3.
Mhm.
Okay, so let me note here. Okay, so we have 2 gold pieces, right? A big
Big
2
chunks.
gold pieces. Yeah,
2
big
big
chunks.
chunks.
Nice. Okay. Yeah, we can maybe give it to some religious, powerful guy or something like that.
What was the thing they mentioned that the area borders Zimitsi territory?
It's right on the edge.
Right on the edge. So
Out on the
chances
edge
are
with nothing
that
to lose.
So there
So
might
the
be
chan-
Zamisi and there might not be.
Yeah, so
Mhm.
there are chances that we're actually facing a Zimitsi domain rather than Toreador domain.
I mean, Artemis said,
Yeah, you may be
Crib-
walking into a turf war. That's true.
Mm.
Or
Well,
something
we
that's
would-
already
okay.
ended.
Okay, for Toreador, that Toreador like art, yeah. Let's try and get some like Roman art, maybe.
We
Remember,
can buy
you're
some.
doing all this in one night. You have the night you were given,
Yeah, that's
and then the night after, and the night after that you're sailing.
I mean,
Okay.
yeah, but like, can we just like make, divide the group and use our ghouls to do all of this together, all together at one time? You know, do our best to spread out the mission. Like,
actually,
yeah.
if you guys have the money, I know for a fact that Ihamus has some really nice Nubian, like, I think it's like curtains or something. We could try and maybe buy them off him with pure money, and
let's hope he doesn't. He's palpable. He's satisfied with the minor boom from the Eternal Senate, but because otherwise he'd be pushing for more boons.
Yeah, if he
But
wants
it's a good
another
idea.
boon, if he wants another boon only for that, don't do it. Don't do it. Just for a curtain, don't do it.
they are really nice curtains.
Don't do it. If you do it, I will note that you are abusing the power, authority given to you.
Haha, like you have that kind of authority to say that. She's the same rank you are.
Yeah, but I can go to the higher ranks and I can tell that. That's another story.
Okay, so I had one more question. Nicodemus would consider what would happen if they were forced to deal with some Zimitsi. What kind of gifts would benefit them? And he'd draw on his experience with the theme.
Intelligence plus
territory-
etiquette. Nicodemus only, because Nicodemus is asking the question.
Splendid.
I mean,
Spot etiquette.
Like,
you're not gonna share it with us? Let us.
Yeah, I thought of it. Then I'll probably tell it that I'm considering this.
Okay, so
Yeah,
intelligence
you
plus
have no real
etiquette.
idea. You just don't.
So
So
Six
our
sides.
friend would probably know.
yeah, could I just ask him?
Oh, Jesus
He's gonna
Christ!
tell you the same
look at
thing. He
this.
doesn't know because it varies from region to region.
These are very, very variable.
He's gonna tell you the same thing that all Zamisi are told. If you want to avoid pissing off a Zamisi, give them advance notice you're coming.
Okay, so send a letter.
Send a
in-
message.
Unfortunately, you don't know who to send it to. You don't have any contacts around.
True.
But Tizimishi is a territorial, from Vlore's own knowledge, Tizimishi is a territorial kindred, which they don't like to leave their home, which means we can go to them with news that they could possibly like and maybe be happy with our unknown arrival to their territory.
I think you're overthinking this.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, let's
We probably
see
just
what
need to get
happens.
going.
It actually reassures me that there probably are no Zimitsi with domain, because why would they leave their own homes to invade someone else? And then they could claim it as a domain, but they'd steer it from afar. Anyway, let's see what we get when we reach it. And
Yeah.
then decide letters.
So gifts. Let's go back to them. We probably take some sacrificial animals. Those
No
the
point.
sheep. No point.
Let's buy them on the spot.
Okay. Yeah. We buy them
Or
on the
Get
spot.
there.
I can literally summon animals. We're
Yeah,
good.
even better. Even
Yeah,
better.
okay, yeah.
What's the favorite animal of Apollo? And if that's
That sounds like another intelligence theology roll.
Teamwork?
Albinales.
Teamwork. Hmm?
Not me. I'll just drop the average.
Only if you have a theology to contribute.
So
I
those
got
who have
theology.
okay, 2 success, 3 success. Nice. Let's get
No, it's one person rolls and you add a couple dice to it.
Okay,
Oh.
so let's say that the highest dice pool person adds the extra dices and rolls. Because
Because what's the roll?
Intelligence plus
Intelligence.
theology, add 2 dice for help.
yeah, so
let's-
I think
I've got 8 dice straight out for that.
So same. So I'll just roll 2 dice.
I'll let you do it.
please, gods of dices, please.
Oh,
So 5.
No, make the whole roll at once.
Really?
Yes, really.
Not a forgiving.
Good luck. There we go.
Nice.
A swan or a hawk?
Is it customary to sacrifice favorite god's animal on the altars?
No.
Okay.
Can you write the animals and let's take note of those animals so that we don't forget them later on.
Good idea.
So what do you, swarm or hawk?
Hawk.
That's his favorite
HAWK.
animals, a swan or a hawk. Or a griffin, but I don't think you'll find one of those.
Well,
try to summon it.
Albina's friend can make one out of a
yeah.
of a lion.
True.
if we find a Unity worshipper of Apollo, give him a people swarm.
Okay. We keep that in mind. We took the note. We have the money. Let's say we pick some art. I don't
Kind
know.
of art.
It's
Where are
in
you going to
Greece.
get it?
It's Greece, right?
Cartoons from Arhamas.
I mean, we don't need to do that. We can just simply buy painting, which is an orgy or something. Because it's Greece, right?
No,
So
painting of Apollo. Painting of Apollo.
Where are you going to get it?
Yeah. I mean,
the question remains, where are you going to get it?
by normal means, like going to a good quality place and buying it outright.
All right, that's going to be 3 dots of resources.
Really?
Yes,
Oh
really.
shit.
Can I dominate the person to give me and then erase his memory? Is it one person? I will like, you will give me that paint and then I erase and you will go back to your room and just stay there and don't go outside.
All right, make your roll.
Oh, it's one person, right? There's
Make your
nobody
roll.
around
Make
us.
it. Make it.
But come on, if you don't
Nope,
say that.
make it. Make your roll.
Okay, you know what? Whatever. So I use the mesmerize first, right? I rolled the mesmerize first, right?
Give me the painting.
Manipulation leader.
Yeah, give me that painting. Like I will point out, like give me that painting, blah blah. You get the message. So I don't know what is the difficulty, but I get.
Okay. He hands you the painting.
Okay, now I want to erase the memory.
Okay.
And
make a roll.
I want to. Okay, what is the rule for that? Let me look at it. Wait, I have to open the book now.
I believe it's Wit's subterfuge or something like that.
Yeah, with subterfuge. Let's see. What is the difficulty, by the way, for that?
I don't think it's difficulty of willpower for this one. I gotta check. Dominate
To
level
get
3.
automatic success.
Forgetful mind. No, it is
Yeah.
difficulty willpower. Okay.
1, 2, 3. 3 success I have. I don't know the difficulty.
I know, 'cause I didn't tell
Assuming
you.
it's 6, I get 1, 2. Yeah. So I can make him forget instantly because I can make him forget this
I
thing
have not
happening.
told you the difficulty because I don't want you too comfortable as
Right.
to how good your dominate
Please.
was.
I can't hear you. If you are speaking, I can't hear you.
I did not
It
tell
shows
you.
that you are speaking, but I can't hear you.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's fine for me.
Guys.
I think it's
Hello?
on. I think it's on you, Valerius.
Yeah,
I can hear you now.
Yeah, okay. Please, can you say what happened and what was the difficulties? I said.
I'm not telling you the difficulty because I don't want you comfortable as to if you succeeded or not.
Okay, so what is the outcome then? I make the roll for the mesmerize.
All right. Now, how what is your command when you tell him for the forgetful mind level 3?
So yeah, I don't know my success, right, for the forgetful mind. Oh, by the way, I said because it didn't went to you, I said I've spent 1 willpower for the forgetful mind. So I have, if the difficulty is 6, I have 3 success actually. Just saying that. Now, my forget. I will make him forget it. Not the race. I will make him forget this encounter that I bought this painting. I took the paintings from him. I will make him forget it.
Tell him that he
Tell
just
me the
spent,
command. Tell me what you say.
Okay. You will forget that you saw me from the beginning of this moment that I came to your shop and took the painting and left the place. You will forget all of this. Like you will forget you saw me. You will forget you saw me.
Okay. He stands there, kind of looking at you, like.
And I will like outright will use mesmerize again. By the way, like I will tell like you will forget me, and I will use mesmerize after that too. Outright.
Okay. To do what?
To make him go away from me and not come out. So you will like
make your
get
roll.
out from here. Okay, I will make the. So you will get out from here. You will not. I mean, you will get out from here and not come back for the next several hours. Yeah.
Okay. Was anybody with you when you did that?
No, I didn't took anybody with me. I explicitly asked you, but you didn't say that if there is anybody around us.
Okay, no, that's fine. No big deal. All right. You are doing this the night you were supposed to leave, by the way. So you're holding everybody up.
If you say so, okay. I mean, for the gift I said like, I mean I know the price, right? I did this after he said the price, so I will told that this is a very like pricey thing.
Okay, now we leave. Now.
Yeah.
Now.
Yeah, we leave that. So we have the gold, we have this painting. We will summon or buy the animal when we come there. Those are the gifts. We can give some feeding thing to the prince person. We have the ghouls that can fight. We have our equipment, supplies. We have some money left. We have one more kindred with us, an NPC. We have 2 ships. Eternal Senate owes a boon to Ihamus, thanks to Het.
I've taken a whole bunch of blood booze with me.
Okay, nice. I don't think Kenders would drink it, but sure. I say that forget me, so I hope he will forget me. I hope he will forget me. What happened? Might he remember? But as long as he doesn't remember me, I hope it won't be a problem. But whatever, I will go to him. I will do it for the sake of the mission, for the Rome, etc., etc. I mean, whatever.
Okay, I think we've done everything. We're going.
We are.
Okay. To cut this short, Ilemus joins you. The purity and poetry of your letter and your feelings moves him greatly, and he will join you. Laviana and Hatshepsut, especially Hatshepsut, he makes you strongly uncomfortable.
Yeah.
If you spend any amount of time within arm's reach of this man, you feel like touching him would be a very bad idea.
Right.
Well, hopefully we can apply that to our enemies as well.
Okay. 14 days later, you guys make it. You pull into port. I believe some of you are getting very low on blood.
Probably, but don't we stop at some point to hunt?
The last chance you guys have to hunt is on the island with Ilemus. Otherwise, from there it is straight.
So I think I should do it because I have like 14 blood or something.
Do you tell the captains of the ships to pull over at some point so you can feed?
Can I stake myself? I mean, can I my crew to stake me, then wake me up when we arrive?
You still spend blood one each night.
I don't think so. It happens really. Yes, I remember
because you wake up, you're just paralyzed.
How many nights did you say?
14. 1 4.
I mean, 14 means I will have one blood point.
Stop. Let's
Okay.
take a stop to hunt.
You guys stop to hunt in a village somewhere. Make your
Since
hunting roll.
what kind of
Make your hunting roll
kind of
at
ghoul?
difficulty 7.
Okay, 8 for me.
How high it is for how from the feeding village? How long it is to?
You're gonna need 3 successes total. Unless you just choose to drain a person dry, in which case you don't need 3.
I have 2 success.
Okay, make another roll.
Make another roll?
Yep. You need 3 total successes to feed a fool.
Will I need an extra because of my weakness?
Yes, you will.
Okay, so I have...
That is again. That's only if you don't want to kill them. If you just drain them dry, you only need 1 success.
Okay. No, I don't want to kill. So I have 15 blood now.
Nicodemus is good. I see Valerius is good. Albina 2. Are you taking another one? Gonna do another one? Albina?
We've just wasted all our good rolls.
Yeah.
So what was the roll again? I got distracted by other things.
It's however you like to feed. If you like to bash them over the head, it's going to be dexterity plus brawl or melee. Or if you like to stealth up on them, it'll be dex stealth. So it's however you like to feed.
So 3 successes means we get 6 blood points.
You're up to full
in total.
When you pull into the city, you're down 5 blood points.
Can I use a charisma performance to lure them away with
yes.
Or
I don't think I've banned a hunting roll yet.
I use wits intelligence. I use perception enigmas to hunt.
So you engage them in a riddles contest.
Yeah.
I have a question. Are we making hunting roll again?
No, did you get 3 total?
Yeah.
Then you're fine.
Okay, because I saw
I'm-
Head
Yeah.
doing it and Libyan, so.
And I need 2 more successes because of my. That. Look at that! Look at that!
A
At least
fail.
he had 1 success.
Well, it's not a
At least he
botch.
had one.
At least
Roll
it's
again.
not a botch.
Yep.
Jesus.
There we go.
I'm
There you
telling
go.
Gods of dice is hating us. Like,
Okay.
if there is a god for dice,
When you guys pull into the city, you are at -5 blood.
It's 5, okay.
Yes, -5.
Well,
All right, so you pull into the harbor. The city, it is a city of between 50 and 60,000 people. Come on, scroll.
woods.
There it is.
Okay.
All right, this is just a layout of the city. This is not to be to scale.
That's a lot of
Or-
hamburgers.
Yeah. This is not considered to be to scale or anything like that.
They are the NPCs, okay?
Right. So what you see at the bottom is the port. That's the harbor. Okay. The food, you see the food and beer icons. So you see where most of them are lined up. That's where people gather to eat and drink. That's what you see immediately as the ship docks. You wake up, there's the port.
Okay, so we have to settle out, right? I believe. I mean, we have to pronounce ourselves to the prince as fast as possible because we are a huge crowd. So we definitely have to see the prince.
Yeah, we have to find a Cainite first, and then learn who and where the prince is.
Yeah, and I do have a question actually, and this has happened while we were going on to this city. What is the thoughts about the Torade or Kindred about the painting I took with me? What does he think about the painting?
He thinks it's a fucking abomination, is what he thinks.
Okay,
Oh,
nice.
what does the painting portray that is so outrageous to him?
That it doesn't matter the skill level with which it was accomplished. The fact that it's a painting meant to hang in somebody's dining room and not to be used in a house of worship is what he perceives as he hates it.
Oof.
Nice.
So,
Wait a minute.
how can we find princess fastest? I mean, is there a system for that? Like, we are probably not going to scream, "Hey, we are kindreds, where is your prince?" Right? We will not scream like
What
that.
did we do last time? Let's go to a tavern, or let's go to a house of elders of some sort. They
Okay.
probably have a forum or something.
What about our
What
possessions?
do we know? What do we know?
I think that the best place to find the prince may be in the Temple of Apollos.
Yeah, that's a fair go.
Should we also see if there are any weavers here?
Also, I somehow suspect that the presence of our friend is going to very quickly spread the news of our arrival.
So,
I should point out that Ilemus is dressed in actual priestly garments of Apollo. That's his literal outfit, and I actually got that. I don't know if this is historically accurate or not, but from everything I found, says it is. So I'm going to give you that picture so you can see them. But these are supposed to be, supposedly, from what I found, the actual clothes priests of Apollo wore.
It looks like a screenshot from a movie.
It is a
I wonder-
screenshot from a movie.
I wonder how a priest of Aphrodite would wear clothes. I mean, What's supposed to be like?
Well, it would probably depend a bit on which aspect, because I know the Spartans also associated Aphrodite with war because it's fucking Sparta. Of course they did.
I
didn't
think we
think
can
that
cut to
Sparta-
the chase. We can cut to
Um,
the chase and just go to the Temple of Apollo with our friend here, and I believe a lot of doors will be opened.
yeah, definitely. I think that's where we should start from. Right to the Apollo's sanctuary or stuff like that. But I do think we should leave at least our goose and some members of the coterie on the ships to watch over, just in case, because there's too many valuable things, and it will be best if we don't leave those stuff alone to the night. We are not
We
going
have
to
a huge coffer with golden coins. So yeah.
Yeah, so Lucius and Labiana, no, Albina, Lucius, and Labiana should at least go outside while Nicodemus and Het could wait with the ghouls guarding the ships. And we can say like there is two more kinders with us. They are waiting on the docks because to watch over the stuff.
That's not how presentations work. You have to present your mug to the prince. If you're talking about this, because I thought that initially we're going to query around, and since we have no idea who is actually at the helm, we first make inquiries, and supposedly
we can have the bodyguard stay at the ship.
Yeah, I think we're overcomplicating. Let's just keep our.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's leave them here.
We got.
But let's make sure our goose keep these things safe from some thieves, right? Just make sure that they know their mission is that as we went out.
Okay,
I will
the
do that.
ship people tell
Hey,
you that they are departing in a day or two. They are not sticking around to be your haven. So you guys
so
need to
they-
find a place to settle.
Okay. So have our ghouls carry out all the stuff that we need to take with us, and I guess we can.
Let's rent a room someplace or a couple of rooms.
Okay, but I do not think our goose is enough to carry those stuff. I think we have to pick some stuff too.
Of course.
I mean, there's like chests full of money. There's armors. There's weapons. There's gifts. There's too many things. Can we like as captain to spare at least some of the crews to carry the stuff outside the ship?
You got money
How
to pay
big-
them?
Everyone is a greedy piece of shit in this land.
That's the way it was back then.
I'm like thinking to dominate the captain. Okay.
I think we're complicating it needlessly.
Okay,
Because
yes,
the
we
fees
pay.
won't be big.
I mean,
Let's
what
just
is
get the help. Let's just
Yeah,
do it.
Okay, what is the fee? He doesn't want 2 resources, right?
When we find the prince, we are
The
likely
fee
to be
is
able
pocket
to.
change. It's just whatever pocket change you have on you. It's fine.
Okay, yeah, I give like 3 bronze to each.
It's fine. They help unload your shit on the dock. They leave it in a big pile on the pier.
Yeah, so now several people standing on a big pile of items. Where do we go, and how do we carry those stuff to a safe location?
We should approach one of the taverns.
Is there anyone who has
The
senescence?
inns, rather. The inns.
I will point out it is dusk. The sun is there's no sunlight in the sky, but it's that dark red, the steepening to purple, you know. And the street side taverns, the wharf is packed. There's a bunch of people, so you can hear and see people.
Okay. Let's go to search a tavern, a tavern or an inn further inland, since they're packed.
I do have a question actually. Does Apollo's worshippers, the priests, do they take some sort of refugee-like things as we are? Like, can they accept to possess? I mean, take our stuff and at least let them stay safe there for a short period? Do they do
You
something
can
like
buy rental space from them.
Okay, will it be safe? I mean, because they're priests, or will it be not safe?
Safe is a relative term.
Okay.
I mean, the priest
Maybe-
won't steal it from you.
Yeah, maybe the kindred, Toredo,
Okay.
as we know,
You
kindred
guys,
can do the
I see you
talk.
guys walk off the pier. You're struggling under your burden. And Nicodemus begins to talk to people as I see he's putting it down. And none of you actually understand a word they're saying.
Mm,
Yeah, Dacian. That.
Dacian. Okay, I'm gonna go into a tavern and see if anyone understands. If they are loyal to yeah, and see if anyone reacts to Latin.
Yeah,
See if we can
you get some
understand
blank
anything.
looks. Nobody speaks it.
Oh,
Okay, we
Yeah.
need to find a wealthy place.
We
Yeah,
need to go to a more fancy place.
I
I really
imagine.
hope they be some translator,
Uh,
like merchants or something. Merchants would know it
Yes.
because they
Is there a
negotiate
market?
deals.
Is there a
We're more
market?
than likely to speak our language.
Well, you guys pulled in right, I'm going to say right here. Okay? That's where you guys are at. You see lots of food and drink places right there on the wharf. You go further in the city, you don't see anything that looks like a market.
Is it bottom or top?
Bottom.
At the
Bottom.
bottom.
What about the ship's captains or wharf masters? Is there anyone to collect a fee for docking?
The captain can point you to where the fee house is located.
Yes. Luckily,
Can't
the
we do-
guy you have speak.
There should be someone who understands Latin in there. Nicodemus just goes
I
there.
mean, do we really need to know Latin? Can we do the old body language stuff, like point at the stuff, then point at the temple, and show money, and like they will like say something,
Well, we don't know
do
where the
some.
temple is, so we can't point it out.
We just
My
need
goal
approach
is
it
to
and
get
see in.
someone who speaks Latin to point me where I can get someone who can be hired as a translator.
So the possibility of searching such a person while carrying those stuff is not viable. We might have to like.
That's why I'm going to the closest place, the wharf master's office.
Okay.
They have to know it to subtract fees from captains who don't know Dacians.
Okay, you do that while I will watch over the stuff. If there's someone who wants to join Nicodemus, feel free to do it. But at least some of the coterie should stay with me too.
I love you staying with stuff.
So I will try to look as intimidating as I can, so that no curious human would come and try to like touch some of the stuff. I'm like looking all over the place and like watching over it.
All right, make a charisma plus intimidation roll.
Okay, let me check it. It will be 5 dice. One, two, three, four. 4 success. Yeah, I will try to show the mightiest Rome standing gesture. I hope 4 success is enough.
Yes, enough. Nobody comes by.
Yeah, nice. I'm looking Roman enough, right?
All right.
Okay, Latin,
Nicodemus,
Greek,
you make your way to the
anything?
master's office.
Splendid.
Yeah, I'll start calling to the harbor master's office.
Okay. So the two of you guys go there. There's a boarded window. It's got a shutter in it. It's more like a small shack than anything else. You push the door open, and there's a guy. He's leaning back, and he's in a like a recliner of some kind. That's like a weird design on the chair that lets him sit back. And he's got his feet propped up, and he is dead asleep.
I approach.
Good. Okay.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead. That's cool.
She'll just be approach and put her hand on the table and say, like try to put her hand on the table loud. Try to make noise.
He starts. Oh God! Oh! He kind of like starts and sits up. His feet hit the ground. He pops up. I'm awake. I'm awake. I'm okay. And he's speaking in Dacian, of course, so you can't understand him, but the expression comes across. And he looks over at you and he says in Dacian, "What do you want?"
Are you the harbor master?
I assume you're speaking in Latin.
Yes. That does not know she's going to switch to Greek and then to Phoenician.
Yeah, when you say it in Latin, he gives you a blank look. And you switch to Greek, and he says, in very, very poor, very hard to understand Illyrian Greek. Yes, me harbor master. Me servant.
You're the servant of the harbor master.
Master sleep. Me. And he kind of like thumps his chest like he's trying to think of the right word. Make a straight. Do you have the merit lingua franca?
No, she has multilingual.
Okay, so just roll straight intelligence.
Nicodemus has it.
Nicodemus intelligence +1 for the merit. All right, both of you guys are kind of, you don't understand everything he's trying to say. But basically, he's got the authority to deal with you.
Splendid, but the wharf master is not our problem, it's the captain's problem. What we want to put across with our combined effort is that we need a translator from Dacian to Greek or from Dacian to Latin.
He pulls something out from under the desk, and it looks like a stamper of some kind. And he's thinking of the right word. Paper? Travel? Stampy travel paper.
Oh God, not again.
Passport.
Not again. Passport. Damn it.
Yes.
They want passports again. Fuck them.
Albinism.
I present him my passport.
He does his best to copy down your name and description and your country of origin on a piece of wax. He's obviously not very good at this.
Nicodemus does not have a passport, right?
Actually, he does.
I do?
Yes, you do.
Okay.
You just didn't like to
Artemis.
present it because you're not you were.
I'm a
If you
secretive.
didn't have one in the last 3 years, they got you one. We'll put it like that.
Okay. So I've been elevated.
Well, Artemis knows people.
Chris,
Yes.
can I, as I said, can I make an etiquette roll to know if it's what we are doing right now is okay? That if we are not presenting ourselves to the prince, but trying to find a secure place about our possessions.
No need for a roll. You have 72 hours to present yourself.
72.
That
Okay.
is common knowledge.
Clock's-
72 hours.
Clock's ticking.
Okay.
3 days.
So once the passport problem is done,
He's like, okay, thank you. And he collects your little fee. He collects the fee, gives it a little wax piece. Okay. He puts his stamp down, sits back down, puts his feet up, prepares to go back to sleep.
We need a translator.
And he kind of gives you a blank look, like,
Nicodemus shows shows a coin from the spare change. Translator. Where?
you see the light bulb come on. Oh. He pulls out a piece of wax and he puts it on in front of you, and he makes like a couple little like grids on it, and he starts counting in Greek: 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and then he like makes a little right turn: 1, 2, 3, 4, because he's like counting up. Make a intelligence roll to see if you can figure out what he's trying to do.
I see.
Does multilingua apply to it?
You know what? Make it or let's do wits plus enigmas. Do wits enigmas.
Sorry. Wits enigmas.
Yeah.
I should theoretically be good at it, but it'll probably suck.
Want me to reroll?
Got it.
Nicodemus definitely got it. He's doing the best he can to give you directions.
Does it seem like? Oh, and I have no idea if he actually understood me. Whether
you understand what he's getting at. He's trying to give you some sort of directions.
Okay, can I figure out where he's pointing? Is
no,
it like
no,
go there, turn right, go there, and turn left?
He's looking down at the desk in front of him, and there's a piece of wax, and he made a little grid on it, like a piece of grid graph paper. And he's like, he kind of taps at it. Me. And he goes 1, and he's like moving his finger along the side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then he's moving it like in direction, and then he turns and it counts it, and then he turns and he counts. And
means that starting from him, you need to go, and each number means, or maybe is he telling the numbers in the same intervals?
He cannot speak your language well enough to give you tell you exactly what he's doing.
Yeah. Number. So he's basically saying either no, it's not number of steps, because that would be like 500.
Yeah.
But maybe the number of minutes or seconds that you need to walk
or
in a certain
streets.
direction. Or streets. Yeah, or streets.
Streets is more, I'd say, is probably best bet.
Is the city big enough to conform to what he says? That if there are really number of streets?
The city is not laid out in a nice grid pattern, but you can still count the number of streets as you pass them.
Okay, let's try it his way. I'm going to memorize what.
Okay, yeah, he does this like 5 or 6 times. Each time he looks up to see if you're getting it. And when you start nodding, yes, I've got it, he's like, okay.
I'm still not sure if he really got that. We were looking for a translator, but maybe. Hell,
we'll just have to see.
Let's believe the poor man. So Nicodemus is going to give him the coin, and let's. If that's not it, I'm going to come back.
Are you going to threaten him?
Well, how?
If you're leading me wrong, I'm going to come back and kill you. And he's like, have a good day. Gives you a little wave.
Thank you. Come again.
I don't understand a word that man just said.
Just say in broken Greek, you wrongy, me smash you-y.
And Nicodemus is going to say, thank you, good night.
It's like, you wrong. Me hurt you.
Maybe at least he pointed us to a guide. That would be better.
Say Malacca. I
Okay.
think it's Greek.
You return back to everyone's got the luggage.
We better go give our papers as well.
Yeah.
Good idea.
Oh, yeah, I assume it was me and Albina who gave their papers, not
Correct.
just Albina.
Correct. You
Okay.
and Albina.
Yeah, they want passports.
Okay, go.
I think
Alright, let's
our
go.
patron provided passport to those who does not have one.
Yeah, Alexio doesn't give a shit. And as soon as Ilemus goes in, the guy takes one look at him. Ilemus uses advanced present. The guy says, "You're okay," and Ilemus turns and leaves.
No need to speak. It's enough.
So anyway, so you guys get in. He's like, as soon as you walk in, he's just settling back down, and he's like, "Oh, I'm awake. Okay." And he kind of gets up and he speaks to you in Dacian. What do you want?
I same server.
No one knows Greek.
I'll say in Greek, travel papers, Stampy.
Albiona just pulls out a passport.
Okay, you pay the fee. He copies your stuff down on the tablet. He does the whole thing you got to do, and you're done.
Albiona nods.
No, I do the same thing. You know, give the password, give the fee, take the wax, and all that stuff. I didn't know you. We still not contacted with a noble, right? Not yet.
You haven't contacted anybody.
No.
Okay. So
Albiona heads
then,
back to the other.
yeah, I presume those who already has a wax now protecting the supplies while we go and, you know, present ourselves. So
Yeah.
All right, so you guys gather all your stuff. Everybody's got something.
yeah.
And walking through the streets.
Yep.
Nicodemus and Albina. Intelligence plus alertness rolls. Guide them.
Oh, splendid. Probably 5. Yeah, probably 5.
Gods of dice, gods of dice.
I'm going to use our willpower.
Okay.
Excuse me.
Nice, nice. But not nice as Nicodemus did.
You guys got it. You do not get lost.
Ooh.
However, it seems like you walk for a long time.
Really?
Yeah, it gets pretty tiring. So you guys are like here, and
Wait,
you walk
wait.
up. You're at the south end of the city. You go
Yeah.
up, you go left, you go right, you go up, down, straight. The city itself is pretty flat. It's not very hilly. It's on a nice flat plain.
Nice.
And you go up, and you end up, if you look near the top, right about here. So a few streets away, you can see the top of a temple building to the south of you. And then right in front of you, as you come up to it, there is a building. It's got a couple of statues in front of it. It's got a flag flying from it. You pretty obviously recognize a Capitol building, basically. This is a government building.
Ooh.
Is it open?
I mean, what can they provide in the government building?
Right now,
No,
nothing
no,
because
no.
it is closed.
Fuck's sake.
I see.
We should have gone to the nearest fancy inn.
I mean, no, we are allowed to walk through the streets now. But
I mean, it takes you like an hour to just take all your stuff and walk up there.
yeah,
And
we look in the risk.
your ghouls, they're all sweaty. They're getting tired. They're hungry.
Yeah.
Have we passed an inn on the way because we went inland?
I am sure you have. Let's see if you can remember where you passed one on a wits plus alertness roll at difficulty 7.
What was it?
For everyone.
It's
Yes,
like with
everyone.
those passports, damn it.
Uh,
There you go.
so
Do you
wits plus alertness, right?
Yep.
It reminds me children of Hakim going to the Alamut. Like when they walk through the sands. It was so hard, harsh.
Okay. Labiena didn't know this one.
Look at
Nope.
this. I'm serious about this. I'm starting to think that all of us are cursed, relating with dices, rolling dice. I mean, there can't be another explanation.
Did we son the temple as we made our way towards the town?
You did not see any huge temples. It's just your route didn't take you past any of them.
And the vision that, like from the skin, did not. She did not remembers the way that led to the temple in the.
It didn't actually take you over a map. It was just like you're in a snap of the fingers. You're passing over the city.
Oh, okay.
So we come with this all the stuff to government building, but we couldn't do anything. Our next station should be
Okay.
loyal.
Fortunately, Alexio in his feminine form.
Hey, come on. I got 2 successes.
You and Nicodemus, you and Alexio at the same time are like over there, and you point. Where's the inn?
Let's go
There's the inn. Go there.
Labiena nods fervently. Yes, let's go.
Okay. Yes. We can call this chapter in our lives the comedy of errors.
Mhm.
I'm just going to toss it out of memory.
Yes.
So
All right.
we
You guys all walk up to this inn.
Uh-huh.
It's pretty nice. It seems this is we're gonna say probably halfway between here. We're gonna say like right here. You gotta backtrack a little bit, and it's right there.
Our
And
girls will be happy, at least.
you it's pretty nice. Looks pretty stout. It's made of wood. It's got a sign hanging out front that you recognize as being some sort of travel place, some sort of inn. There's lights on in the shutters, even this late at night, like 11 o'clock at night.
Splendid.
Our stuff.
Nicodemus drops in and looks to the owner of the establishment.
Our stuff. How are what happened to them?
Labiena,
You are all carrying it.
we've been carrying it.
Inside the inn.
I don't know.
Yeah.
You tell me.
No, we probably park in front of the inn with all this
Yeah,
shit.
in such a case, I will still guard the possession. I'm like standing outside front of it, arms crossed, chest is open, looking straight forward to the people passing next to it, close to it. I'm like, I'm like saying to Titus, go eat your feet, get the energy and come here as fast as possible after you've done the things. And you will guard the things with me. I'm like that to my goose.
Okay. Your ghoul's like, okay, sir, whatever you say.
Come on, be more manly. Yeah. Come on. No, I'm not saying it, by the way. In game, it's out of character thing I say.
Okay. You walk in. You can hear the clink of people eating. You know, the little clink of bone and stuff on wood. Dinnerware. You hear the faint murmur of voices coming from deeper within. You walk in, there's a little stand right there at the front. There's some steps leading up to a second floor. And there's like a little click, 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 clack, click, clatter sort of sound. And when the door opens and you look up, there's something hanging over the door to make the noise. And somebody comes rushing out of a back and sees you all standing there. Some guy, gray hair, bad skin, but okay clothes.
Good day. I'd like to rent a room, a couple of rooms. He said in Greek. Slowly, not too slowly.
Yeah, he kind of stares at you for a second, and he's like, room? Number?
Rent.
How many? Number? And he holds up like one finger, 2 fingers, 3 fingers. Kind of
I
like
think he has
with a
something.
puzzled look on
Nicodemus,
his
hold
face.
on! Stop! Let me answer. So Nicodemus counts in his head the number of bodies he has and shows these many fingers.
Okay. He kind of looks back in his head, thinks for a second. And he says, 2 silver per. 2 silver each.
Okay.
Can I have an idea whether he's ripping us?
Oh, this is way overcharging.
Okay, for one night at least.
Come on, I can. Oh, wait, I can.
We can share the rooms.
Yeah. Can we sleep over each other? Would it lower the price? I mean, how much comfort does a kindred need? Can we sleep?
How many rooms did you rent, Nicodemus? I don't know how many rooms, and are you sure you don't want to inspect the rooms first?
Yeah, we should probably inspect rooms first.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I was going to ask him how much beds per room, but yeah, better to just yeah. So he asks, "Can I see the rooms first?" See, he points to his eyes.
Guy's like, oh, yeah. Takes you upstairs. Shows you a room. It's like 2 beds, and some straw on the floor. And there's some shutters, but the shutters do not look light tight.
Does it look like something we could reinforce.
So if all of us packed into one of those rooms, I could seal it up.
Things are shitty.
Okay, how many ghouls we have again? Can someone remind me? Because we've counted it, so Nicodemus would know.
I have 1 ghoul.
I have
you
1.
had your guys. I thought you had your intimidating guards and stuff.
Do I have them, Chris?
No, you only brought Titus.
Yeah, I only brought Titus. I have 1 ghoul. And by the way, those intimidate guards would flee at the first chance, so don't think about them. Their mission is not to do such things, just to protect us from plebs.
So Vlore has 1. Hart has 1.
5 ghouls?
Lucky
Hmm.
has 1. We each have 1 then, do we?
1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
I mean, yeah, I'll be honest, I said 5 ghoul.
4, 8.
Yeah.
Means
So that means
4.
it's 10.
5 ghouls? 6. So 4 rooms.
All right.
Okay.
That's 8 silver. And
Nicodemus shows 4 rooms, and then if he doesn't have on it himself, he just tells the man to wait a moment.
Opna's going to give forward her suggestion that she can just sneak inside the.
That could attract the wrong kind of attention, is the thing.
Chris, is there any role I can make to guess what we should do at this point to get rid of all this weight over our shoulders. And I mean the stuffs we carry, not finding a place to sleep. I mean, the first thing we have to get rid of those load of stuff that we have to protect because they are just, adding too much time to our things we want to do. If we can handle it, then we can go on to finding safe place and.
Well, I mean, that's completely up to you guys. The best normal way to do it is you hire a room, and then you pay the innkeeper to protect your shit.
Yeah, I was just going to suggest that. Why not hire one room, put our stuff in for the time being.
So we can carry our stuff inside the inn, hold them in the inn, and take them back next night.
Let's put more things into perspective. One, we want to get acquainted as fast as possible. It's better be that we start searching this night, okay?
No, not fast as possible.
Second, can I finish? Second, we need to have a place to retreat in case the sun gets up. So we need to have a safe haven to return to. So we need those rooms. And three, our ghouls are tired. We cannot just bunk them into one place and call it a night.
I agree with you, but we have 72 hours to find the dead person.
What if you meet a delay?
We have much more important things at this moment.
It would be most courteous to do it as soon as possible. Also, I don't think one-time expenditure of 8 silver is going to hurt us that much. I have no idea about finance because we can switch nights. We can switch to another inn next night.
And the Carthaginians are not going to wait.
Okay, we take the rooms. It's not a big problem. But I don't see any chance that we can sleep there securely without worrying about the sun. Now,
I can handle that.
In all of the rooms?
Not all the rooms, I presume.
I can if the 5 of us, or not 5 of us, if all of the kindred pack into one room, I can secure that room. We do not have the same level of spatial requirements needed by mortals to sleep comfortably.
You could just nail me to the ceiling and I'm good.
If we want to do that.
Okay, that sounds
might be cheaper too.
fair. I mean, if you sure that you can do that, okay.
With 5 goals, no, that would probably be too tight. Does it seem like these rooms can hold 5 corpses and a single person inside it?
Yeah, they can hold 5 people. It'd be a little cramped, but they can hold 5.
And we would stand like vampires, right? Like standing still, arms crossed, and like.
Oh, as vampires, you guys can sleep on top of each other. It doesn't matter.
So with
except I can't sleep on the Lemmus because
Ilemus declines your kind invitation. He will find his own shelter. Thank you very much.
Okay, I'm sure he can find his own shelter. Pretty easier than us.
However, Alexio will accept your offer.
Yeah, I mean, we accepted Alexio. Alexio accepts.
With Albina around, it will be a very cold night.
Yeah, just let's make sure Alexio doesn't touch our skins while we are sleeping. I'm trusting Het about that he's taking care of the sun problem. We can hire one room for all the kindreds, expect the Imus because he will find his own. Then we can hire enough rooms for the ghouls, which would be comfortable for them.
You'll need 2 rooms for them.
Okay, yeah, 2 rooms for them plus 1 for us.
What
So-
about the luggage?
That
Can we
goes with
fit
the
it
ghouls.
across free room?
Yes, that goes
Okay.
with the
Yeah.
ghouls.
That goes with the
Okay.
wolves.
So free room.
So
Okay.
six silver. That's fair enough.
Yeah, 6 silver. Okay.
That's fair.
Yeah. So we give the 6 silver, right? We give it.
We'll
Okay.
take it, yeah.
Question.
Uh-huh.
So we put 2 ghouls in each room. We should have 1 ghoul with us to keep the mortals away during the day and during the night.
I mean, if some protection, no, if head can handle that stuff, I'm pretty sure if some danger come to us, we can wake up and act.
I would just suggest
If
shoving
there's
the bed
enough-
against the door.
Yeah,
Simple approach.
barricade. Simple
And-
barricade.
So basically, as soon as we've got the room set up, Hatshepsut's gonna set to work, saying some prayers to.
Hold on. We're not doing anything else this night? Or do you just need this much time to prepare beforehand?
Well, it's best to get it done early so that if
Yeah.
I make any mistakes, they can be corrected.
So what about this?
This is fine.
But what about this? You do that, while if we have time, some of us can get out and handle some other problems at the meantime. While you do the ritual thingy, and some other killer stays with you to take care of the stuff, while some of us goes out and handle some other problems, to make sure that we spend enough time for everything. I mean, while you are doing the ritual, we don't have to wait you. We can do other things at the meantime.
Yeah, and I can also make some notes while I wait.
Okay.
So yeah, Hatshepsut will go around the room, draw some symbols that can be erased when necessary. Say prayers to Set, Echidna, and Echidna to dim the light of Ra. And I'll make the roll.
I believe that's a blood point as you make all the symbols, right? I'll look the ritual up, make the roll. It's a theology roll for you, right?
Yeah.
So, while she's doing that, which things we can handle at the meantime, and how much time do we have to do things? I mean, do we have much time, or?
Maybe I can ask around for a guide. I'd go down and ask our foes for
Yeah, I can
guide.
come with you. I can come with you.
It's 1 blood point, so it costs you 2 blood points to do the ritual.
Okay.
And Chris West, something. Do you know how much time there is till dawn? Till the
You
sunrise?
should probably ask Nicodemus that question, and the answer is 6 hours.
6 hours.
Plenty
okay.
of time.
Yeah. So
It's 5 hours after Hat finishes her ritual, but yeah.
Okay. So it's best if we really, some of us gets out and tries to do other stuff too in the meantime, because we have plenty of time. So I'm suggesting, well, more like probably Nicodemus is suggesting that he can go and find a guide, I presume, and I will be like, sure, I will join you, while at least Albina and Labiana could stay with Het to take care of the ghouls and protect the stuff. And while our guest, Alexios, if he likes to, can join us, or she, if she likes to join us.
It's a he.
He?
I think.
We know it's he, right? Because he is looking like a woman, but do I know it's a he?
Zemeckis are pretty much always universally an it.
Okay, it, okay. Yeah, I will,
they.
it then. Yeah,
All
so
right.
we will
They.
say like, Alexios, it can come with us if he likes to, our guest.
Yes.
I don't know what Alexios would want. But So I presume we go and find a translator with Nicodemus.
Yeah.
I
That's
promise
fine.
you, whatever gender you pick for Zemisi is wrong.
He is it.
I mean, whatever gender we pick, probably he was that gender at some point. So
Yeah. It doesn't matter what you pick, you're wrong. Especially depending on how
Uh,
much money's online on the bet.
So is
So
it
it's
is it
they.
do they take pride in being called it or they? Or is it something that you do behind their
Um,
backs?
I don't know if have any of you asked Alexio why he is now in the form of a woman as opposed to the powerful virile male
I-
in which you first met him.
So Nicodemus is probably well acquainted with the fiends to know why those questions are pointless.
Nicodemus and Albana are the only ones who know the answer to that question right now.
I mean, they probably don't care it. I would assume that they probably don't care it. They probably don't give a shit at this point.
Well, there is an actual reason for it, and Nicodemus and Albana both know what it is.
Okay,
There's
I
a
mean,
good reason for them.
okay, they are not sharing it, so whatever. We can move on. We can move on. We don't need to stuck with this. So, what you said, Nicodemus finds a translator, I presume, a guide.
Try.
Sure. I mean,
That
I'm like,
laugh in your voice, man. Okay.
but I do want to do something
we
before
go.
that.
Okay.
When I go below to the tower inn, when I look at the innkeeper, can I like make any gestures to understand if weapon is allowed? And I will not try to scare him by doing that. I will try my best to not scare him. Like, if it's expression or something, I can roll it. I'm like,
If you're going out in the city, he doesn't stop you. If you try to walk in his dining room, he's like kind of like makes little hand gestures, like no, 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 no. You know, it's like don't do that.
okay, but when I go outside, can I try to understand if it's allowed or not by like showing, weapon, making weapon, then pointing out outside, then making a head
He
gesture
shrugs.
like
He shrugs. He doesn't care.
he doesn't care? So he
He
doesn't.
shrugs. He's like, whatever.
Okay, that's very helpful.
Okay.
So yeah, I'm not taking the weapon then. I have just my dagger, simple dagger. So yeah, I'm looking at Nicodemus to lead the way to the guide. I'm like,
So Nicodemus asks their host, "Where do we find the guide?"
I point to my
guide.
tongue.
Tourism.
Pluto. Hades. Pluto. Temple.
Temple of Hades, in other words.
I will show my tongue. I will show my tongue and point at him. Like I will show my tongue, then point at him and show his tongue. Like then I will make my hands open and my head will be like go right and left, like what type of moving like this. So I will try
He
to
points
make
to
sure
his
he
dining
understands.
room. When you start pointing at your tongue, he points to his dining room.
Okay, so tell me, first question. When we're wandering around the city, were there districts that looked more wealthy than the others?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay, so I guess I know where to go to find one.
To find a wealthy house or something? Yeah.
No, to go into a wealthier district. Okay, that's fine. The other question to the man is Temple of Apollo.
He points in a general direction, which you perceive as being on this map right here.
Right here. Okay. Where was the last one?
The
So
big
I'm
building
looking
right
at
in the middle.
the very big one, like the biggest one on the screen.
Yeah, whoever's
So
clicking
I
that
will.
is clicking the slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse?
Yeah, the red square with the cows.
That's the slaughterhouse.
Okay. So, so I'm like asking Nicodemus, do we go to the do we go to the Temple of Apollo, or to some royal person, or to finding guide? Which one we will do first? I'm asking to Nicodemus.
Which is the closest thing, the Temple of Apollo or the
Okay.
wealthier district?
You have no idea. But it is. Let me make a suggestion. It is 6 o'clock. Do you guys want to keep going for a little bit, or do you want to call it a night here?
I think we can call it a night here.
Okay.
Yeah,
I
I'm
mean,
happy.
if somebody is
Sure,
leaving, I'm
we
okay
can call
with.
it.
Okay. All right. One experience for everybody tonight.
We did a lot of faffing about tonight.
We did.
It usually happens when Chris gives us some choices to make.
That's why I didn't mean to sound like a dick, but I did try to cut you guys off a little bit. It's like, okay, we're done.
Yeah, I know. I almost felt a bit of frustration when Valerius was dominating the guy for the painting.
What am I supposed to do? It's 3 resources point.
No, man. I'm not saying anything. I'm not jabbing at you. I'm just saying that whenever there's a thing when we have to make a plan, it really drags on a lot.
Yeah, well, maybe one of us has nature as the chaos bringer or whatever. Maybe one of us.
I think it's one. I think the problem with this is that we are given a narrative freedom in which we don't actually role play a lot of what's being done and said, and rather than that, we're just left to let our thoughts wander and let our things wander. Maybe we should have some role-playing scenes and a time limit.
That's why I'll tell you guys what. A friend of mine uses a hourglass. Wonder.
Hourglass?
Yeah. When he's like, all right, you guys have 5 minutes to talk about this, flips the hourglass over. Go. When the sand's out, you're done. Have a plan.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I agree. I vote to try it. Maybe a small improvement would be that we are presented with an idea, then we have like maybe a 5 or 10 minute break for everyone to think about it, what their characters are going to suggest and say, and then the clock starts. And
okay. Remind me to do that if I seem like I'm going to fall back on an old habit. Just say, hey, maybe we should put a timer on this, and we're going to try that. See if we can't cut some of that out. Then
That's what happens.
But what was the film?
Alternatively, next time one of us makes a new if one of us ever has to make a new character, they need to be a proto Western Taoist. Just don't think about the future. Just do the work and it is done.
I mean, I'm literally thinking about this at this point. Like, if I create a new character, I might do it just a simple, straightforward Gangria to make everything easier.
Honestly, that's my exact idea. Enough with the intelligent ones. Let's make a dumb.
Yes.
Dumb guy.
Or I can go with the straightforward
dumb, just very straightforward.
Yeah.
Okay, guys.
I'm like,
it's
pause for a second for me. I'm gonna end the video and the session here. So for anyone watching online, thanks for joining us all, and hope you join us next week. We will continue our investigation of the city and see if we can figure out what the vision was trying to tell us. Thank everybody and have a good night.